Hello. I don't know if anyone can hear me. I'm here again. I have no luck, yes, as you say. I'm like Anthea Turner with a job in IT. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Do I exist? I'm in the room. Do I exist? If you can hear me, please say hello. Please, hello. Yes, you can hear me. Yes, it's taken a reboot to deal with it. Yes, I am like Anthea Turner when it comes to technology. I'm absolutely fucking useless. I'm as much use as a bloody fucking chocolate teapot. I can't deal with anything technical. So sorry. It's my fault that I blame myself, me, myself, and I. And I'm moving my light around so it's not so ghastly. There we go. You can hear me loud and clear. So here we are. We're in the room. I'm sorry, we're only 15 minutes late, 16 minutes late. Absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable in 1984. Definitely unacceptable in 2025. Shame on me. Absolutely perfect. The program is back. Hooray, say some of you. I don't know. You probably would rather not have me here. I'm a pain in the neck. Anyway, I'm working out what the light should do, where the light should go. We can't shine the light on Lady Min because she'd get cross. Here we are. It's like ghost stories all over again. Ghostly lighting. Right, there we go. It was worth the wait. Okay, right. Hello and good evening. Lady Min, are you going to wake up, Lady Min? No, she's not going to wake up. She's half asleep, but she's behaving herself for the moment. So let's leave her in that state. Right, we'll begin the evening with your questions. So let's have a few questions from a few of you. Let's have viewers' questions because you've waited long enough because I don't know how to make this damn thing work. It's absolutely awful, this YouTube. I don't understand this YouTube. It's an absolutely stupid system. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I can't really explain it. There we go. I do apologize, but it's absolutely awful, this YouTube. I don't know what you do. You press the same thing every day and it doesn't work the same way each day. It's completely bonkers. So no, I don't like the YouTube system. So YouTube, if you're listening, which you probably don't, because you really won't be listening to a nobody like me, is fix it. Fix your system. Your system's a load of old shite. Let's be honest. Right. Okay. Right. Leave the light alone. Okay. Well, I don't know. Where do you want the light? Hillary. So Hillary, you can have it here, there, or anywhere. That's your options. So, but I do need a bit of light to make myself look a bit more reasonable. So, anyway, Hillary, thank you for your comment on the light. There we go. Let sleeping men lie. Yes, well, sleeping men has definitely gone to sleep for the moment. She'll wake up and no doubt be screaming shortly. Who is Michelle Mone? Well, we'll come to Michelle Mone shortly. Expialidocious. Right. Anyway, we'll be talking about Michelle. Michelle is a very dislikable woman who I don't like very much. Can you meet Lady Min? No, she's asleep. So no, you're not going to be meeting her tonight. She's under a bedsheet, lying on the sofa because she likes to sleep and then she likes to rant. So there we go. She's not Michelle Mone, no. Are you friends with who? Love watching you both. So matter of fact, I love it. Right. There we are. I don't know what you're talking about, load of rubbish. But thank you, my little man, Bob, whoever you are, for your odd question. I don't really get your question. It doesn't make sense. It makes utterly no sense at all. Busted says Michelle money obsessed. Yes. We're going to be talking about Michelle shortly. So there we are. You've just Googled her. Yes. Well, left Colin Campbell. Lady Colin Campbell, I did meet in November at a party for a book launch for a woman who failed to show up for my little party, which was about her book about some lawyer called whatever his name was. I've forgotten his name now. That's how unimportant he was to me. She didn't even bother to turn up. Her name is Karen Phillips, and his name was George Carmen, and she didn't even bother to turn up to my event. You know, she cancelled at the last minute because she was too busy, which wasn't very nice of her. So I wasn't very impressed with her behaviour, let's be honest. But, you know, Karen Phillips, Get Carmen is the name of her book, but I'm not going to give her any more publicity for her book because she didn't bother to turn up for my event that I'd kindly arranged for her, and she cancelled with less than 24 hours notice, so shame on her. Not very impressed with Karen Phillips, no. Not a very impressive woman. Bye-bye, Karen. The name says it all, let's be honest. Right, next topic. So, you think that Lady C is a nightmare? Well, she was quite polite to me. I don't know her, but you know, I don't know her. Nothing to do with me, but she was polite. So no, I can't agree with you. She was polite. Hillary can't stand her. I don't know. I'm not interested in the woman's views or whatever she is, but she hasn't been rude to me, so I don't have a view either positive or negative against her or for her. But Karen, yes, bye-bye. Karen is a Karen. Karen was very rude, and that was a very rude thing to do. And I'm not very happy with her. There we go. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Lady C only talks about Meghan Markle. Well, I've been speaking this afternoon with Samantha. So Samantha has given me some views. Good old Samantha and I had a lovely phone conversation. Yeah, she said, you know, it's time that she closed her tongue. That's what Samantha said to me. She said Omid is her cheerleader. Omid Scooby-Doo. He's had plastic surgery to try and look like her. He's one of her little rat bags, basically. Of Boozy, she said, you know, Christopher Boozy, she paid him. So no, I had a nice little chat this afternoon with Samantha. Samantha is a lovely lady, but her key points were Omid Scooby is a cheerleader and Boozy is paid by her. So there you go. Omid is a creep. That is the truth. We all know that Omid Scooby-Doo is Scooby off. He should be Scoobied into history. Yeah. Right. Do you like, say, Lady C asks my little man Bob? I've only ever met this lady Colin Campbell person on one occasion. She was perfectly pleasant to me. That's all I shall say. She's not my friend. She's nothing to do with me. I have no interaction with her. I just said hello and good evening. And her children, they were very pleasant too. So I will say they are pleasant people on first interaction. That's all I can say to you. Thank you very much for your question. There we go. Right, the next question. Well, most of your things are points. Right, okay. Omid's been fired. She hates Meghan Markle. I don't know. I don't know. All these are things are points. They're not questions. If you wish to ask me a question, please ask me a question. I don't want a point. I want a question. Thank you. If you wish to interact with me, please ask a question. Right. I don't need all this nonsense of your views on whether you hate so-and-so or you think that so-and-so is a bad person, because that's not relevant to me. It's not a topic. I cannot be getting involved in your personal row with such people. So let's not have any more of that, okay? Thank you. Most kind. Right, questions. Do I think the Ukrainian war will end? Well, it will end eventually. Everything ends eventually, but I don't know when it will end. No. Mr. Trump will end the war when he chooses to end the war, and Mr. Putin will choose to end the war, and Mr. Zelensky will end the war when he wants to end the war. So that is the answer to that question. I cannot answer your question. I'm not the oracle, so no, I can't answer that question. Would I like to talk about what would I like to talk about this evening? Well, I'm going to be talking about Michelle Mone shortly, but let's get away through this. What's going to happen with Mone and Barrymore? Yes, I'm going to come to all of this. This topic is going to be the topic of the evening, so I promised you already I will be talking about these crooked people. What have I had for dinner this evening? I haven't had anything for dinner yet this evening, sadly. No. So no. Right, there we go. Anyway, I'm very jolly, as much as you all think. Right, there we are. What's my favorite type of cheese? I don't have a favorite type of anything, as I've repeatedly said, but I like cheese. I love a bit of cheese that's got a bit of spice to it, and a bit of nice to it, and a bit of enjoyment, and something that gives you a bit of and a bit of umph. So there we go. That's the kind of cheese I like. Have I heard from Michael Barrymore? No, I haven't heard from Michael Barrymore. And his agent, the coward, has not bothered to call me back. So, yeah, there we go. There we go. It speaks volumes, doesn't it? When the agent hasn't even got the ability to call back. Come on, little agent. Speak up, you pest. I haven't written his name down in my book. I wish I had, because then I could read it out. I'd forgotten what his name is, but he's an awful person. Anyway, so he's awful. Absolutely dreadful. What's the name? Michael Bishop, I think his name is. Awful, awful man. Bishop Associates. Anyway, we don't like Michael Barrymore's agent. Awful, awful man. So Have I ever kissed anyone famous? I don't think I have, no. As far as I'm aware, I haven't. Why are you asking that question? I've met some wonderful people over the years, and well, I've been personally interacting with them, but I'm not going to say which one I kissed. So there we go. Right. Miss My Little Man Bob says, I'm in Essex too. I don't know what relevance that has. Get on the phone and order yourself some nice nibbles. Well, I don't have any nice nibbles, but there we go. Do I have any children? 0. No, I don't have any children. No. Megan has stolen the title of someone else's podcast and is using it for her new one. What are your thoughts on that? Is it crooked? Megan tells lots of lies, but I don't know what the name of the podcast she's stolen because you haven't declared what the name of the podcast she's stolen. So I cannot help you with that matter. Right. Have I ever heard of Oasis Island? I don't know what Oasis Island is, so please tell me what is Oasis Island is. Do I have an opinion on Ellen DeGenerate? Ellen DeGenerate, yes, I do have an opinion. Thank you. That's very nice of you to ask me a question about her. She's a piece of filth. She's a piece of scum. She's revolting. She should be thrown in the bin. I don't like Ellen DeGenerate. No, I'm not a great fan of Ellen DeGenerate. And God help Gloucestershire. Having her arrive. It's worse than having a plague. Why on earth would you want her living in your municipality? She's awful. She's a fucking pest. Bloody awful woman. I don't like Mrs. Degenerate. No, Ellen is an awful, vile piece of toe rag. So no, we don't like Ellen DeGenerate. No, Ellen DeGenerate. Yeah, there we are. There's my opinion. You got it. Right. So next question. If you meet someone you dislike, are you rude, polite to them? It depends who they are. I don't instantly dislike people. I'll give anyone a chance. So, in the beginning, I'll be polite, won't I? Of course. So there we are. There's your answer. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to be nasty to anyone just in the first meeting. That's just silly. So that's my answer. Thank you. You left a comment regarding my situation, says Loz. You probably did. I haven't had time to look at any comments. I just have had a lot of other things going on. But there we go. Anyway, we loved having you for all our ghost videos. So thank you very much. It was very kind of you all to join it. Thank you. What are my views on Lucy Letby? Well, Lucy Letby, it looks likely Lucy Letby is going to get herself a second hearing because, every little grot bag is joining in to try and help her. I think Lucy Letby is one of the nastiest women on the planet. And even if she is cleared, I'm not going to be convinced that she's innocent. This woman is a disgusting person who murdered children. And I don't care what other people think. I think she did it. and I'm not going to shut up about it. I speak out for people who are innocent. The Menendez brothers are innocent. Omar Benguit is innocent. Jerry Bamber is innocent. You know, I can go on and on and on with people who are innocent. You know, I don't believe that Lucy Letby is innocent. Sorry. I know many of you probably do, but I don't have to agree. I think Lucy Letby is a very evil woman. And I don't like what she did to those poor children. I'm not going to be convinced that this woman did not do what she did. And my support is for the families of the poor, innocent children who died at the hands of that awful woman. Those poor children were killed by what she did. So I support those children. Lady Min is not even awake. No, there's no point trying to wake her up, but she normally has an opinion on Lucy Letby. No, she's not going to throw in her opinion. So for once, she's been silent. There we go. So there we go. That's just what I want to say. Thank you. If I met Lucy Letby, how would I react? Says Hillary. Well, I'm never going to meet Lucy Letby. That's not going to happen, is it? It's just it's not going to happen. But I've already told you what my view on Lucy Letby is. I think the woman's a serial killer, and I think she's sick. I think she should burn in bloody fucking hell. She's vile. I am not going to be an apologist for anybody who supports Lucy Letby. So round that up, you jumper, whoever you are. So what a silly question. I actually, Mr. Lee Kicker doesn't have an opinion about it. Okay, that's fair enough. It's respectable. Right. Did I place a bet on Cheltenham races today? No. I did give some tips today, and yesterday I got my friends all the winners on Bob Ollinger. So Bob Ollinger, but Bob Ollinger will be a question in one of my quizzes tomorrow, so I'm saving that for that. No, but Lucy Letby, seriously, don't get me started. I cannot stand Lucy Letby. It's wicked. I support many people who are innocent. I don't believe Lucy Letby is an innocent person, but you know, she's probably going to get away with it. She's probably going to be cleared just because of the sake of it. Because this is what happens in the British justice system. They don't clear genuinely innocent people like Jeremy Bamber. They clear people like Lucy Letby. She's a bitch. She's an absolute fucking pain in the ass. And it's disgusting that this Lucy Letby is able to manipulate the justice system in the way that she does. She is appalling. She's sick in the head and makes me angry. What do I think of the Podesta brothers? Well, I don't know about much about these Podestas, but you know, perhaps they are linked with Ghislaine Maxwell. Perhaps they're not. Perhaps they are linked with Madeleine McCann. Perhaps they're not. I don't think they're the key to the Madeleine McCann story. No. So I'm not a great believer in Podesta and McCann. Right. Have I ever worked on Fleet Street? No, I've never worked on Fleet Street. I went to the London School of Economics, which was, of course, very close to Fleet Street. Have I ever placed a bet in a Monte Carlo casino? No, I've never been to a Monte Carlo casino. No, never. Never once in my life. But I go to casinos. I love casinos. I enjoy visiting casinos. I love betting. Do I believe in aliens? No, I'm not into aliens. But maybe other people do. So, that's a very nice thing if you want to believe it. Do I believe in Mersey people? I don't know what Mersey people are. So there we are. You're from Oregon and right. You don't believe the doctors at the hospital looked after the babies. Well, I don't believe Lucy Letby looked after the babies. Lucy Letby is a piece of scum and she is a child murderer and she's convicted of her crimes and I support her conviction. Lucy Letby is one of the nastiest people on the planet and how dare anybody support anything other than saying this woman is vile. She's disgusting. So please stop trying to have a pop at me for daring to say the woman's a convicted criminal. She is a convicted criminal. She's convicted of what she fucking well did, murdering those poor bloody children. So, no, I will not tolerate on my channel anyone having a pop at me about Lucy Letby. Lucy Letby is a dreadful, evil bitch. She's a child killer. She's a murderer. And what she did, and those poor families deserve justice. So shame on you. Shame on the lot of you. So shut your mouths. I've had enough. I don't want to hear any more about Lucy Letby. Absolutely awful. So absolutely shocking. But you like to have a go at me. I know you do. And well, there you go. Anyway, I'm not going to be quiet. I will speak out. So, right, next. Who are the most patronizing bastards I know? The worst people I've ever met. Right, five awful people. The worst people I've ever met. Gosh, that's a hard question. Gosh, that's going to take a bit of time to think about. Worst people I've ever met. I don't like the horrible Nigel Havers. Nigel Havers is a horrible, horrible, horrible man. That's one. There you go. Straight away. Got him. I hate Linda Robson or Dobson or whatever she's called. She ruined my friend Arthur's funeral. She's disgusting. In fact, she goes ahead of him. She wins the award. She goes number one ahead of everybody. She's vile. Linda Dobson or whatever her name is. I can't stand Tamara Eccleston, the woman who kills sloths. She's disgusting. Tamara Eccleston, she's like the modern day Bet Lynch. Awful. Right, you want two more. I'm trying. I've done well. I've got three of you. This is hard work. Well, Bernie Eccleston is the coffin dodger, but I don't hate it. Oh no, Scylla, of course. Scylla has to go in because she's just an old piece of scumbag. And then, of course, we have to have the famous Michael Barrymore. But there we go. So that's five. I could throw in a couple more. I could throw in Cliff. I could throw in, what's her name? That dreadful old bag. Fergie, yes, she could go in. the other old bag, Gloria Hunniford. So you've got 8. I've given you 8. 8 awful people. There are many wonderful people in the world I'd love to celebrate. I'd rather celebrate the 8 wonderful people in the world. So my 8 wonderful people, to contrast against your, my 8 hellish people I've just given you, would be Omar Sharif, fantastic man, loved meeting him. I'd give you Arthur Ransom, the man who wrote Swallows and Amazons. I'd give you, let me think. Right, next one would be, because I've got to think of men and women. It's hard to think. I'm thinking. I'm being challenged in my brain. Right, the next one, the most wonderful, would be... I don't know. Let me think. It's hard work to think of great people. Good people are harder to think of than bad people, sadly. Right, I need a good person. Right. You're making me struggle here. Well, I would say the lovely Barbara Minto, who is a wonderful lady, who is my godmother. Lovely lady, absolutely fantastic. First woman to go to Harvard, first woman to work for McKinsey. So that's the third one. Fantastic lady. That was a wonderful lady, and I really have to say she deserves to be remembered. At the age of she's nearly 100, and to remember her as a good person is a great thing. So, yeah, she can be number 3. The number 4. Number 4 has to be alive or dead. Gosh, I'm struggling here. It's very hard to do these kind of things on the spot because I'm just trying to think. The 4th person has to be who do I love the most of actors and actresses and all the rest? Margaret Thatcher, obviously. Margaret has to be one of the top people in my life because Margaret was a joy to spend time with when I was a child. I was the most lucky person ever because I spent time with the best prime minister on the planet and the most wonderful husband. And I love Dennis too. So Dennis gets a mention as well. In fact, Dennis should be honoured also. So that's number 5. Dennis Thatcher was number 5. Dennis and Margaret were the most dear people, absolutely special people. I had the most wonderful times of my life with Dennis and Margaret Thatcher. Dennis and Margaret were the most joyous couple to spend time with. Dennis loved a whiskey. Margaret loved a gin, and I took Dennis home from the Ritz Hotel one evening when Margaret was in South Africa, and I had to escort him on the underground. I took him on the underground because that's the way he wanted to go home, and that was the last time I ever saw Dennis. And Margaret, she died in the Ritz Hotel. And I have to say, that couple, they were the best of the best. We've never had a prime minister better than that lady, ever. She is amazing. She was amazing. There we go. What do I think of Ozzy Osbourne? One of you asked. There we go. So, right. Margaret loved the miners. Well, Margaret didn't wish to harm the miners. She just wanted to get the miners into business. So don't pick on Margaret. Margaret was the best. I'm really not interested in anyone who picks on Margaret. Margaret Thatcher was the best prime minister. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Men?
Yeah, she was the best.
She was the best prime minister this country has ever had. And I don't really care for any of you people who want to...
Greengrocer's daughter.
No, but do we like people having a go at Margaret Thatcher?
No.
No, we don't tolerate you having a pop at Margaret Thatcher on my channel. It's my channel, and I love Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was a dear, dear woman in my life, and I loved Margaret Thatcher, and I loved Dennis. So don't start having a go at them on my channel. If you want to have a go at them, bog off. Go and do it somewhere else. Boring. You're absolutely dull. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Men?
Yes.
We don't tolerate bullying of Margaret Thatcher in this audience. We are Margaret Thatcher devotees. We love Margaret Thatcher.
Best thing that ever happened to England.
She was great, says Amanda. You've got it right, Amanda. I totally agree with you. Tell the other people to bog off. Totally agree with you. We will not... Oh, Lucy Letby is completely innocent. Oh, Michael, you really are worse than the village idiot. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
We don't agree with you. We think Lucy Letby is as guilty as sin. She should be locked up in hell.
Go and jump in the lake.
Lady Men says go and jump in the lake. I say the woman should be drowned. She's vile. She's evil. She's sick in the head. And even if she is cleared, I think it'll be a complete farce. So I don't like Lucy Letby. Lady Men, what do you have to say about Lucy Letby?
I can't speak about her because she's so despicable. I can't even speak about her.
There you go. She's so despicable, she can't speak about her. And I agree with Lady Men for once. Lady Men talks a load of old rubbish about most things, but on this occasion, 100% right. I cannot stand this Lucy Letby. She's evil. She's vile. She's a child killer. These families of these victims, of these poor children, they should be left alone. Enough is fucking enough. Shame on you. So don't bother. You think I've had too much to drink because I'm daring to criticize Lucy Letby, Sue Lang. Well, whoever you are, Sue Lang, whatever your fucking name is, fuck off. Get off my channel. You're a pain. You're a bore. I don't want to hear from you again. You're awful. And how dare you say that I have no right to speak about Margaret Thatcher? Oh, I'm not allowed to say Margaret Thatcher's a wonderful woman. Shame on you. Margaret Thatcher was one of the best people on the bloody planet, you stupid moron. You are a bore. Get off my bloody channel. Piss off. Fuck off. Don't come back. How dare you attack Margaret Thatcher? Margaret Thatcher is a wonderful, delightful lady. I'm disgusted at you, awful woman. Piss off. Piss off. Don't come on my channel ever again, you horrible woman. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Men?
Yes.
We don't like people who don't like Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was a wonderful Prime Minister. She saved our country. She did the best. So shut your fucking mouth, you bloody cow. How dare you have a go at me? I'm disgusted at you, whoever you are. You're awful. You're rude. You're awful. And you're ghastly. So bog off. Bog off and don't come back. Thank you. Right. Okay. We had a rant about her. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it? I'm very, very sorry. I didn't mean to get angry, but what a cow. Where on earth did she come from? Complete lunatic. She's absolutely ghastly. Yep. This is epic TV, yes. Well, I do tell my views. I'm not going to be dishonest, but I'm not going to be prepared to have someone attacking the legacy of the lovely Margaret Thatcher. You know, some creep like her, you know, she isn't worth it. Precisely. Awful. Absolutely awful. You call this high octane TV? Well, maybe I am high octane, but at least I am honest. I do not tell untruths. I speak honestly. But how dare someone attack the legacy of Margaret? Margaret was the best Prime Minister this country has ever had in peacetime. You can say that Winston Churchill was a great Prime Minister because he was a great Prime Minister in wartime. He was a war leader, so he was able to be, you know, successful. But in peacetime, this was the first woman, a woman who became Prime Minister, and she shook up the world. And she did it in peacetime. She was fabulous. You cannot criticize Margaret Thatcher. Shame on you. Absolutely shame on these people. I don't tolerate anyone attacking Margaret because Margaret was one of the most lovely people. And I was very lucky to spend time with her. With Alan Walters, he would walk around the kitchen in our house. Sir Alan Walters, the economist, and he taught me economics when I was aged 10 years old. He was fabulous. I was extremely lucky to spend time with such people. If you knew such people, you'd realize that these people were change makers. They changed the world. So stop being a bastard and moaning about them. Shame on you. Shame on you. I'm very upset by this. Anyway, it doesn't matter because, of course, they're going to be nasty because there's lots of nasty people in the world because there's lots of angry people and they hate people like me because they think I'm just a privileged prick. That's how they feel about me. They don't like the fact that I've spent time with such people. Well, I'm very lucky to have spent time with Margaret. Margaret and Dennis. I loved Margaret and Dennis. And I'm very, very lucky. It's not correct that these people are coming out with these horrible comments. But I realize I'm asking questions and I shouldn't do this because I'm only provoking them. I'm poking the bloody fucking bear, aren't I? So I'm allowing them to attack me. This is why, but I'm now getting upset, which is not really right. It's not correct that I make myself upset. I do apologize. Mm-hmm. I do apologize to you because I shouldn't put myself in this position. There we go. Right. Matt Grant spent time with her at Jeffrey Archer's house. Jeffrey Archer is a lovely man in many ways. He's a very interesting man. He writes wonderful books. He loved his lovely house in Grantchester. Yep. Yeah, I hope you had a lovely time there with him. What did I think of the film The Iron Lady? I hated the film The Iron Lady. I went to a screening of it and I hated it. I think the film was disrespectful to Margaret. And Margaret is a most wonderful lady, and how dare they make such a shitty film? Disgusting. I don't want any disrespect to Margaret Thatcher. She's the most wonderful woman ever that I've ever met in my life. I love Margaret Thatcher so much, and I hate that film. I hate it. I really, really hate that film, and it was horrible. So no, I don't. I didn't enjoy that film. Disgusting. Right. The Fragrant Mary. Yes. Well, Mary Archer, married to Jeffrey. She's a very nice lady. Mary Archer is a very pleasant lady. That's all I shall say. Thank you. No more to say beyond that. Right. Right. What do I like about living in France? Well, I don't live in France. I'm just visiting France, but it's very nice to be here. Yes, I like I love France in many ways. It's a lovely place to be. I love Italy. I love America. I love lots of places. So, no, it's nice to visit lots of countries. Thank you. Thank you for your question. There we go. Right. Your next question. You speak my mind, nothing to do with alcohol. Well, thank you for pointing that out, Chili. Chili, you are a good supporter. You've always been kind, and you're a nice supporter. Yeah, I speak my mind. If I have a drink, I'll say one thing, and if I don't have a drink, I'll say the same thing. Nobody needs to tell me what to say. So all these little ranters in the background with your little ratbag comments, bog off, shove it up your bloody jumper, you horrible people. I'm not going to be told what to say. I speak my mind every day of the bloody week. You don't even have the ounce of decency to speak against me, you cowardly custards. You're absolutely pathetic, so bog off. Bog off, whoever you are. I'm not having people moaning and whinging at me. I don't deal with whinge bag whiners, so fuck off, shove it up your fucking jumper. I'm bored of hearing from you. And I'm allowed to say whatever I want, so I don't care. I am bored of all you people moaning at me. I've got some lovely people here, and thank you to all you lovely people. You're fabulous. You are wonderful. You're absolutely great. I love the wonderful audience, but I don't need all these creeps whinging and whining at me. If you want to whinge and whine, take your whinging and whining, take it to Tamara fucking Eccleston and piss off and go and do it somewhere else. Go elsewhere. I do not need to hear from any single one of you fucking people ever again. Bog off. Leave me alone. I am me. I will do whatever I want to do, and I want to talk to my lovely audience who I love and I adore. I want to talk to the people who I have positivity from, the people who are kind, the people who have generosity of spirit, the people who have something good to say, not the negativity. So shove off, fuck it up your bloody fucking jumper and bog off. Okay? Thank you. Thank you kindly. And thank you kindly is the way I send anyone away. Thank you kindly is like sending anyone to hell. So thank you kindly. Bye. There you go. You've had your response. Okay. What does Lady Men think of that?
I don't know. Did we eat anything tonight?
No, she just wants to talk about whether she ate anything. She doesn't even listen to the discussion. Anyway, there we go. So that's the comment. Your rant was up there with Ricky Gervais at the Oscars. Be like you always.
What?
My rant was like Ricky Gervais's at the Oscars. Be like you always.
Oh.
Anyway, she didn't even listen. No, she didn't even listen
I
to.
don't even know who he is.
She didn't. Right. Okay, so. Right. Well, I'm very sorry to say. Have I ever met Arthur Scargill? No, I've never met him. Arthur Scargill is somebody I've never met. No. And I'm glad never to have met him.
I've had them down my throat.
She claims to have had Arthur Scargill down her throat, but that does not sound likely. I think she's getting a bit carried away with herself. Have I met Pat Sharp? I don't know who Pat Sharp is. There we go. Right. Have I been to Greece? No, I haven't been to Greece.
I have.
Lady Min has been to Greece. I put her into facility in Greece during the
St.
lockdown.
George Hotel in Athens.
I put her into the St. George Hotel in Athens as a facility during the lockdown, and she rather liked it. Right. So, anyway, do I like fish fingers? Yes, I love fish fingers. I like bird's eye fish fingers. They have to be bird's eye. I wouldn't eat anything else. There we go. Have I met Martin Brunt? Well, of course I've met Martin Brunt. I was on Talk TV on the TV show with him. So, you know, come on, keep up. I was on the program with Martin Brunt. Me and Martin did a program together. Have I met Stephen Fry? Yes, of course I've met the horrible Stephen Fry. He's a right old piece of creep. He's a disgusting, revolting, awful, vile man. Don't like Stephen Fry. He makes me sick. Yeah, you love fish fingers with beans. Okay. You don't like Martin Brunt, but
Fish fingers with
have I met
beans.
Princess Michael of Kent? Yes, I have met Princess Michael of Kent. Princess Michael of Kent, you know, she's a curious lady. She can be a bit difficult. Her daughter is a very nice lady, and her husband is a lovely man. So that's all I should say. I'll leave it at that. I think that's the best way of describing my relationship with Prince and Princess Michael of Kent. Right. Okay. So you like Marks and Spencer's Fish and Fingers? Have I met Piers Morgan? Yes, I have met Piers Morgan. He's an opinionated wanker, but some of his opinions are quite good, but some of them I don't agree with. So he's a 50-50. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not really a great fan of Piers Morgan, but I'll give him a 50-50, okay? Some of his opinions are good. He's better than Richard and Judy, because they're worth zero. They're absolute scumbags.
You can't compare them.
Well, they're in the same league. And then Anthea Turner, you know, she is like zero. She is the worst. Anth does not even get in the ballpark. But anyway, there we go. And whereas Lorraine gets 100%, we love our Lorraine. Lorraine Kelly. We love her. She's the best. She's the best in the West. What do I think of Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton should be put in jail. Hillary Clinton. It should be changed from the H to the K. Hillary. She's a murderer.
Banned as the
She's a
word
worst woman in the world because she needs a K instead of a H. That's what we'll say of her. There we go. What do I think of Gloria Hunniford? Change her name to Inglorious. She's awful. Gloria Hunniford is one of the most vile, sick, boring weirdos on the planet. She's boring. She's absolutely hideous, ghastly. Right, you don't like Lorraine Kelly, says Simon Coates. Well, I disagree with you. We love Lorraine Kelly. Lorraine Kelly is the best in the West. We love her. Gloria Hunniford's hair is a dangerous weapon, says Miss Marple. Oh, well, what's she going to kill with this dangerous hair? I do believe her hair could be dangerous. She's a vile, wicked, horrible woman. No, you don't like Gloria Hunniford. What do I think of Angela Rippon? I think I'd call her Angela Ripoff. She's a pain in the arse as well. She needs throwing in the bin, but she's not that boring. She's not the worst. I'd leave her alone. I'm really not that bothered by her. But Angela Ripoff, I think that's what we call her. Right, we don't like her particularly. Dame Judi Dench. Oh, she's a national treasure. An absolute wonderful lady. Leave Judi Dench alone. Judi Dench is a great actress. She's absolutely fabulous woman. Don't pick on her. She's not one to go in. What do I think of Hugh Grant? Well, he's a bit of a whining whinge bag, and he goes on about, his phone hacking a little bit too much. But he's all right. Leave him alone. I think we give him a pass. We put him in the middle area. He's just boring. Hugh Grant is boring. He's beige. We'll describe Hugh Grant as beige. Dawn French. She's an angry old bitch. Miserable cow. Don't like her. No, absolutely awful. Don't like Dawn French. No. Sue Perkins. I don't even know who Sue Perkins is. I've heard of her, but I don't know who she is. She's some kind of actress of some form, but I don't know who she is. So she's beige. She goes in the middle. Okay, Damien Hurley, the son of Liz Hurley. He's a freak. He looks like some kind of woke kind of weirdo. He's definitely a bit odd. Ghastly, awful, vile. Don't like him. Prince Harry. What do I think of Prince Harry? He's a drip. He's awful, vile, ghastly. What do I think of Ruth Ellis? It's a bit of an odd one because she's long dead, but we've talked about Ruth Ellis before. Ruth Ellis, of course, lived in Edgerton Gardens. Ruth Ellis is the last lady to be hanged in Great Britain. I think that Ruth Ellis is a victim. Ruth Ellis should be given a pardon for what happened to her because, she did commit a murder, but she did so under mental duress. So, yes, I think Ruth Ellis is a lady who should be given a pardon, not be mocked on here. So, no. I don't agree with your mocking of Ruth Ellis, whoever brought up that one. Right. Have I ever been spray tanned? No, I've never ever had a spray tan. No. Harry is a drip. Yes, I totally agree. What do I think of Marine Le Pen? I think she's a racist fucking bitch. So there you go. That's my honest opinion of her. Right. What's my opinion of Joanna Lumley? Joanna Lumley, and I have spent time with Joanna Lumley, absolutely lovely lady. Wonderful. Simply the best. Absolutely delightful lady. We love Joanna Lumley. Don't you agree, Lady Min?
I don't know.
You don't? She doesn't have an opinion on her. Oh, come on. What do you think of Joanna Lumley?
Yes. No.
She doesn't have an opinion. She got the justice for the Gurkhas. Yes, and that was fabulous. She helped the Gurkhas get the justice. Don't you think that's a wonderful thing, Lady
Well,
Min?
she helped me get a suitcase off the plane once.
She helped to get a suitcase off a plane. But what about the Gurkhas? The lovely Gurkhas. She got justice for the Gurkhas.
Did she, or did she go
She
justice
did.
for herself?
No. Well, anyway, Lady Min doesn't care. So what is my opinion on Holly Willoughby? And what is Lady Min's opinion on Holly Willoughby?
I don't know who he is.
Holly Willoughby.
Who?
A woman, Holly Willoughby. The one that went around with Philip Schofield. Holly Golly. The blonde bitch.
I'd rather talk about Joanna Lemley.
No, we don't like Holly Willoughby. No. Holly, Wally, Golly, whatever her name is, she should shove it up her jumper. Don't like Holly, Golly, whatever her name is. Right. Right, next one. Give me some more. Ask me some more questions. We've not even got to our quiz yet, and we're going to get to our quiz. We haven't even got to my topic about Baroness Mone, and we're already going 1 hour. Right. Holly Willow Tree. Okay, well, if that's what you want to call her. Right. Right. Have I ever been to the Highlands? Of course I've been to the Highlands. Altnahara is the heart of my life. I love Altnahara. So there we go. What happened with you and Sean Atwood? I speak to Sean Atwood now and again, but I do my own thing. I am my own person. He has his program. I have mine. I think that's a fair way of taking it. Right. You are begging people to ask questions and then you insult. I've not insulted anybody, whoever you are, DM. So if you don't like my fucking questions, bog off. Yes, I've told you to fuck off. So get off my channel. You're a pain in the ass. Yes, there you go. I've not begged anybody for anything. I'm not a beggar. You're a deceiver, whoever you are. So take your questions somewhere else. DM. Awful person. I apologize to everybody else, but I'm not prepared to have people here talking to me in this fashion. It is absolutely unacceptable. So no, he can bog off. We don't need him here, do we? I love chatting with you all. You're all lovely people. We're having a lovely time. We don't need some pest. So whoever you are, go take your boring question and shove it up your jacksie and put it up somewhere else. I don't want you here. Go away. Thank you so much for all the lovely questions the rest of you give. Thank you. You're all very kind. He is not a person welcome here. There we go. Am I related to royalty? No, I've no relation to royalty. No. No. Have I ever been on a package holiday? No, I've never been on a package holiday. It's freezing in Scotland. Well, it's pretty cold here too. Lady Min is under a blanket, so she's pretty cold. There we go. You weren't mocking Ruth Ellis. You agree with my answer. Yes. Well, Ruth Ellis was tragically treated. It was a terrible thing that happened to Ruth Ellis. Absolutely awful. The lady should never have been hanged. She should have been given some form of clemency. But it didn't happen, did it? So, did I ever smoke? Yes, I did smoke. I've been known to have the odd cigarette in my youth, but you're trying to stop. Well, I found it very easy to stop because I just didn't like cigarettes. I just never liked cigarettes. I did smoke them, but I just didn't like them. I'm sorry, I can't give you any tips on stopping smoking because I don't have any suggestion. What do you think of me, says Darren. I've always been nice to you. Well, Darren, you're a very nice gentleman. Thank you for being nice. Thank you, Darren. We love your company, Darren. Thank you. My top 5 writers. Okay, my top 5 writers. Gosh, this is going to be a hard one because I don't do the best of this and the best of that. I hate all those. Top 5 writers, I suppose. Well, obviously Arthur Ransom because relative wonderful thing. Arthur Ransom 1. Yeah, not in any order. This is not in any particular order. Second, second writer, because I can't choose Enid Blyton because I don't like the woman because she's a horrible cow. Though I enjoyed reading the books, but I'm thinking of the best. You want the best writers. Well, Arthur Ransom was a great writer, so he's definitely in the league. He's one of the 5. Buchan, who wrote the 39 Steps, he's definitely he's one of them. So John Buchan. So that's 2 of them. Right. Let me think of a third. Gosh, you're really challenging me here. Writers who I love. This is very hard. You really do challenge me with your mad question. Right, a writer who I love.
Who's the bloke that wrote the book that we both loved? Bob Banks.
I don't know. That's a boring book. I would say
it was an amazing book.
Lady Min is shouting in the background with a suggestion, but I don't know what it is. But I'm thinking of right. I've got to think of 3 more books, so it's very hard here. You like Barbara Cartland? No, and Conan Doyle.
Oh.
You like Dorothy Parker? You like Stephen King, Angela Lansbury? No, they're not on my agenda. Robert Harris. He's a good writer, Robert Harris, but he's not my favorite.
Who wrote the book? We both read it.
I love so The Great Gatsby was a wonderful book. I love to read. I love The Great Gatsby. So that's the 3rd one. The 4th one, no, I don't love Catherine Cookson. No, definitely not. It's not Maeve Bianchi. No, I don't love her. It's not Lawrence. It's not Graham Greene. I'm struggling for the next 2. It wasn't The Secret Garden. Roald Dahl. I liked Roald Dahl, but it's not that wonderful. No, it wasn't Jane Austen and Dickens. I don't love Dickens. I think Dickens is actually a bit predictable. Charles Dickens is the most predictable author on the planet. Didn't enjoy it. Joan Collins, she's not a great author.
Oh, God, no.
She's not an author. No, I'm sorry. Joan Collins is just some boring woman who just happens to be a bit of a tart. Let's be honest. she's not an author. When it comes to literature, we have to be something else. You love The Wind in the Willows. Well, I love The Wind in the Willows, but I wouldn't say it was the best thing. And War and Peace, no. It wasn't Alistair Crowley. No, he was a nasty, evil, vile pig. He was a horrible, horrible man. Vile, sick. Mark Twain, no. Edna O'Brien, well, she lived off Walton Street. I did know Edna, and she was a nice lady, but she wasn't a great author in my view. She wasn't my kind of author, but there we go. The Wind in the Willows is a lovely book, but it's not my favourite book. Sorry. It's never going to be my favourite book. It's just not for me. Oscar Wilde is not my favourite author. No. So there we go. It wasn't Lewis Carroll, and it wasn't... well, I suppose I could say that Colin Dexter wrote the most wonderful book, series of books, Inspector Morse, because I loved Inspector Morse, and I loved the books more than I loved the TV show. And I've watched those TV shows probably more than anyone on the planet. So yes, I suppose he could count as number 4. So there you go. I do love that. So I've got my own thing. Ian Fleming, yes, he wrote the wonderful James Bond books. So he was a wonderful man, wrote a wonderful thing. You like Tom Bower? I don't like Tom Bower. He's just a prat. He's just a man who writes angry books about anybody. He did write a book about the pissed off Bernie Ecclestone, so I'm very glad about that, but I don't really care about him. So no, I'm not really into Tom Bower. I don't know. You obviously said that because you thought it would make me happy. Thank you, but it doesn't make me happy. Right, you like Jane Eyre? Well, the Bronte sisters. Everyone has different things, but honestly, it depends on the day of the week, doesn't it? One day you might want to read a book about Bernie Ecclestone, and one day you might want to read the Brontes. So it doesn't really matter, does it? It's a totally different thing. So anyway, Pam Ayres. Well, Pam Ayres wrote a poem about me once. So I've got a poem written about me by Pam Ayres. Thank you, Mr. Leaker. Not many people have a poem written about them. She doesn't like me, this old Pam Ayres. So she wrote a poem about me and her cows. So there you go. What have these people ever done to you? Says a person called Nobody. Well, your question is absolutely stupid because you don't ask a question, you moron. You sound like the village fucking idiot. So whoever you are, Nobody, you're called Nobody. What you are a nobody, so bog off, Nobody. You're a pain in the arse. Right. Can I read the poem? I'll try to find it for tomorrow. Right, no airs and graces. There we go. Was it published? Asked Expialidocious. Yeah, of course it was published. She publishes everything. Yes, there was a poem written about me by Pam Ayres. Yes. And it has my name in it. So I'm very publicly mentioned. Yes. Patricia Cornwall. She's an absolute moron. She's a stupid woman who destroys paintings. She's an absolute fool, this Patricia Cornwall. She goes around wrecking paintings. She's mad. She's completely cuckoo. She's gaga. Right. Edgar Allan Poe. Well, I like Edgar Allan Poe. He's quite dark in his humour. Yes, absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. Do I like going skiing? No, I don't do skiing. I do après ski. I go to the bar. I'll leave the skiing to my friends. I like to go to Zermatt. That's my favourite place. I love the Elsie bar. Most wonderful bar. Absolutely. Happy to go there, but I don't want to do anything else. That's all I want. Don't. What's my favourite womble? The Wimbledon Wombles are wombling free, so I like all of them. I hope they all have a nice time. So that's what I say about that. Do I like famous grouse? Yes, I like famous grouse. Sadly, I haven't got any at the moment. My glass is empty. I need a drink. Right. What's my opinion on Jordan Peterson? I don't know who Jordan Peterson is, so I can't possibly answer your question. Sorry, I can't answer that. Your top 5 bucket list destinations. I'm not really into, favorite things. I've already told all of you this repeatedly. If I could go anywhere I haven't been, I'd like to go to the Shetland Islands. That's top of my list. There you go. I'd like to go to, let me think, where else would I like to go? Morocco. I've never been to Morocco. I'd like to go there. That's number 2. Right. Number 3, I'd like to go to St. Bart's because I've never been there because, all the things I know about, all the crooked people that I know about who've been there, like Epstein, etc. So I'd like to go and have a look. So number 4, I'd like to go to the Galapagos Islands because I'd love to see the penguins. I'd love to see the penguins in the Galapagos Islands. So that's number 4. And my final one, number 5. Right, gosh, you're putting me on the spot here. This is instant thinking. If I had more time, I would think of something more creative. Number 5. Where would I like to go in the world? I'd love to go to somewhere in South America because I haven't been to South America, so I'd love to go somewhere there.
Guatemala.
So there we go. And Lady Min says Guatemala, so that's where we're going. We're going there. So there you go. You got your 5 points. So I'm sorry, it was a quick thing. You said Galapagos Islands is an excellent choice. Do I like Toblerone? Of course, I love Toblerone, and I eat it all the time. Well, who's my favorite motor racing driver? Of course, it has to be the wonderful former friend of mine who's dead. He's brown bread. It has to be Sterling Moss. Who do you think you are, Sterling Moss, when you drive a bit fast? And I love my other living friend, another racing driver. So he's a great man too. I've forgotten his name. So there we are. You love Shetland. Yes, I'd love to be there too. Yes.
Live below.
Yeah, Shetland is a great TV show. Yes, there we are. Have I been to Ireland? Yes, I've been to Northern Ireland. I've never been to Southern Ireland, but I'd love to go to Southern Ireland. I'd love to go to Dublin. I'd love to visit Dublin. I have a desire to go there. Right. Have I ever visited Canada? Yes, I have visited Canada, only very briefly. We used to spend a lot of time in Seattle, which was on the border of Canada, so we were very close to Canada, yes. So we used to visit. But no, I'm I don't know much else about Canada, and my mother did briefly live in Canada for a period of time when she was running a university there, and it was all a little bit unfortunate, but there we go. I won't go into that, but my mother was living in Canada, and we have great respect for the Canadian people. There we go. I think that's all I shall say on that subject. Where would I send Rupert Lowe? What do you mean, where would I send him? Mr. Rupert Lowe is not someone I share political opinions with, but I think that Mr. Farage or Farage should put a sock in it and leave him alone. So I don't know where you would want me to send Mr. Rupert Lowe, but Mr. Rupert Lowe has the right to express his opinions, and I respect his right to express his opinions. So there we go. So that's my answer to your question. Right. Okay. Next question. Any more questions? You think that Rupert Lowe was Reform's best asset? Yes. Well, Mr. Lowe has been nothing other than respectful to me, so I don't have a problem with Mr. Lowe. But I'm nothing to do with the Reform Party or Nigel Farage, as in Garage. So I cannot speak for these people, but it's up to them what they do with their own political parties. So I'm not prepared to speak on their behalf. Would I consider going on a cruise ship holiday? No, thank you. I don't like cruise boats. No, thank you. But it's a nice idea, but it's not an idea that I wish to accept. But thank you for your kind idea. You're amazed I haven't visited Dublin. Well, I would love to visit Dublin, and I will visit Dublin one day soon. Right, who did I think was the best ever James Bond? Well, most people go for Roger Moore, and most people go, because he did so many. He did 7. The best ever James Bond, sorry.
I'd say,
sorry? What?
you say all the time.
Well, who do you think was the best?
Well, the Queen's English.
Oh, she's interrupting as usual, being a pain in the arse. Sorry for her interruption. The best ever James Bond. Well, I'd say Lazenby. There we go. So there we go. Right. And the next James Bond. Who will be the next James Bond? Right. We don't know, but it's not going to be Robert Pattinson, that's for sure. So there we go. You like Sean Connery. Please come to Shropshire to my Airbnb. We'll have a right laugh. Well, Amanda, if you're inviting me for free, I'll come for free to visit you. Yes. Why not? No. Why can't you see Lady Min? Well, she's half asleep. So, no, you can't see her. It'll be Patricia Routledge. Right. You're hoping it's Edris Elba. Okay, well, right. You've all got differing views. So there we are. Right. So that's where we're up to with the score on that front. Well, I will get ready for the next stage of the show, which is going to be some questions. We've done 1 hour and 36 minutes. We're going to have some questions. But first, I need to pour myself a beverage. So I need a beverage. And I'm allowed to do that. So I'm terribly sorry, given that the situation is as it is, and I think you all understand. You love the quiz. You think I should be the next James Bond. Thank you very much, SS Racing. But no. I'm not. I'm no pink. Anyway, I'm going to quickly get myself a beverage, and then I will be back. Have a tequila and a Red Bull, you say? That's what you think I need. Well, I don't think I'm going to have a tequila or a Red Bull, but I'm going to quickly get a beverage, and then we'll do our quiz. So we'll start the quiz. Okay. We'll be ready for the quiz in a couple of minutes.
Where are you going, man? Where are you going? Supposed to get into the loo. You didn't go there anyway.
Right, here we are again. We're ready to go. So now it's quiz time. Are we ready for our quiz? Lady Men will have to join in, but she, we don't want her wrecking the quiz like she did yesterday, but we hope she's going to join in and be fun. So we're going to do a little quiz. Are we ready? Are we quiz ready? Have I got someone to help me with the quiz? Someone who can take notes for the quiz. Have we got somebody who can help here? Steve says it's a great show. Thank you very much, Steve. That's very kind of you to say, Steve. You're absolutely wonderful. Right. Right. Have we got somebody who's keeping tally? Yes. Mr. Lee Kicker, could you keep the tally? Come on, Mr. Lee Kicker. You're quite a good person. You're quite capable of doing it. No, PCE says that he's too unreliable. Susan says me. Okay. Thank you, Susan. She's ready to keep tally. So we're going to have Susan Spill Your Tea is going to keep tally, Lady Men.
Sorry?
The lovely Susan Spill Your Tea is going to keep tally of the quiz. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So say thank you to Susan.
Thank you, Susie.
Susan.
Oh, Susan.
She's Susan, not Susie. So anyway, Lady Men says thank you to Susan. Thank you, Susan. Right. Your first question. Right. What is the definition of the derogatory noun grockle? What does grockle mean? What is a grockle? Is your first question. What is the definition of the derogatory noun grockle? It's not a drunk. It's not Anthea Turner. It's not Cliff Richard. It's not gobble. It's not cow poop. It's not lumpy face.
It's Matthew Steeples.
It's not Lady Men. It's not pass. It's not a window licker, and a non-Cornish person does not fit in, other than it is related to Cornwall. It does relate to Cornwall, so you know what it's about, Joyce Grove. What does the derogatory noun grockle mean? And it's a very widely available word. Michelle can... no, in fact, Jane Hennessy gets the point. Okay. Jane Hennessy is the winner with tourist. Jane Hennessy, you can have the point. It means people who are not from round here, but it specifically applies to Cornwall. So it is a word about tourists, people who are not welcome. And my old friend, the dreaded Michael Winner, who was a bit of a lunatic, he did a film called The System, and he said bloody grockles and their caravans always jamming up the Devon lanes. And Lord Cowdray said, we will never have to endure the visitors coming across the property. So to endure the grockles coming up the drive. Nobody wants these people. But that was in Devon. And in Cornwall, they refer to them as emmets, because an emmet is like an ant. It's a nuisance. Not welcome around here. There you go. So, anyway, Jane Hennessy got the point on this particular occasion. So we'll allow Jane the point.
James, you're the winner.
And Lady Min is shouting out in the background, completely irrelevant there at the late stage. So, today has been a remarkable event on the Riviera, the French Riviera. It's been a day of celebration of a certain somebody. On which date does the birthday of Prince Albert of Monaco fall?
Today.
SS Racing wants to adopt Lady Min. Simon Coates gets the point. It is the 14th of March. So today, the birthday of Prince Albert of Monaco falls. He is the son of Grace Kelly.
Kelly.
And he is 67 years old today. So Prince Albert of Monaco was born on the 14th of March, 1958. There you go. Okay, now this is a question where I went to school. This was right next to my school. How many people did Dr. Buck Ruxton, born Buckatire Hakim, murder in Lancaster in September 1935? How many people did he kill? It was not 5, it wasn't 16, it wasn't 17, it wasn't 5, it wasn't 200, it wasn't 12. No, you're absolutely all way out. It wasn't 8, it wasn't 30, it wasn't 520. He was a serial killer. He was a killer. I don't think he was a serial killer, actually, because Sebastian Bluewater wins with the point. He killed 2. So he killed 2 people. Dr. Buck Ruxton was a doctor who murdered 2 people. He murdered his common law wife, who pretended that she was his wife, and he murdered the housekeeper. And it was known as the Jigsaw murders. His wife, Isabella Ruxton, was one of the victims, and his housemaid, Mary Jane Rogerson. And the Rogersons ran the local garage next to where I grew up. So the Rogersons, they were part of the victims. And there were 10,000 signatures asking for clemency for his killing, for him to stop him being executed. He was obviously executed by that very nasty man who was a very evil character himself, Albert Pierpoint. So there you go. There's a bit of an interesting bit of history about Dr. Buck Ruxton, who was a murderer, and he chopped up his poor wife and the housemaid, and he was very stupid because he wrapped their bodies up in a newspaper, and the newspaper was called the Sunday Graphic. It was a newspaper from Lancashire, and he then distributed the body parts in the north of Scotland, in Scotland. So when they found the body parts in the newspaper, they knew where it came from and the date, because he was so stupid to wrap it up in the local newspaper. So if you want to be a serial killer, if you want to wrap up a body in a newspaper, I think you better find a more generic newspaper. Stupid man. He was an absolute village idiot. Anyway, he was an Indian, and he really was stupid. Anyway, right, next question. Question number 4. In which year did Downton Abbey first air? The TV drama Downton Abbey by my friend Julian Fellows, lovely man. Which year did Downton Abbey first air? It was a huge success. I think it's a bit bonkers. It's not really my kind of TV show, but and I will admit that. And I've told him that to my face, his face. So, but I like Julian. He's a lovely man. Which year? Right. It was not 2009. It was not right. It was not 2005. It wasn't 2011. It wasn't 2007. It wasn't 2013. Right, Miss Marple gets the point. Miss Marple, well done. Well done to Miss Marple. It was 2010. So well done. You've got a point. Thank you, Miss Marple. What can I tell you about it? Yeah, Julian Fellows. It was his program. Right, the next question. This was the race of the day. What type of race is the Cheltenham Gold Cup? What type of race? I want to know what type of race. Right. It is a horse race, yes, but no. We need a more specific description. Linda Jo has it with National Hunt. Well done, Linda Jo. You have it. Linda Jo, 1 point. National Hunt. Well done to Linda Jo. You get the point. It's a feature race, the biggest race of the National Hunt season. It's 3 miles and 2.5 furlongs. There we go. But it is a National Hunt race, not a flat race. So thank you. You've summed up what it is. So well done, you. Yes, it is a horse race, of course, but that's just a stupid, simple answer. Horse racing people love a decent answer. And my tips yesterday to my amazing friend, he got an 11 to 1 winner on that one. And the day before, he got a 25 to 1 winner. So I love a bit of horse racing, and I wish I could do my betting myself, but I don't have a VPN, so I sadly can't. Otherwise, I would have made some money. Terrible that, isn't it? Awful for me. Anyway, doesn't matter. Never mind. It doesn't matter. There's always another day's racing, because that's how racing works. We in the racing community, we're a very happy bunch of people. We smile always. Always smile. Always be happy. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Min?
Yep.
Next question. So which sport does Rachel Blackamore participate in? Which sport does Rachel Blackamore participate in? It's not swimming. It's not tennis. It's not golf. It's not running. It's not water sports. But Pazam Aura gets the point. Pazam Aura, 1 point to you. It is horse racing. Because, of course, Rachel Blackamore is one of the best ladies in horse racing. So Rachel was the first female to win the Grand National in the 182-year history of the race. She is an amazing lady. She's an Irish lady, and she's absolutely bloody fabulous. We love Rachel Blackamore, don't we?
We love her.
Next question. Which industry is Marconi associated with? Which industry is Marconi associated with? Marconi. You can say electronics, but I'll take Joyce Grove. Joyce Grove, you get it with telecommunications. I think that is, you get a point. Telecommunications. So the next question relates. Which British Prime Minister and his government became embroiled in the Marconi scandal in 1912? Which Prime Minister? Which Prime Minister? It was not Churchill. It wasn't Blair. It wasn't Howard Wilson. It wasn't Attlee. No. You don't know? It wasn't Dunno. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Woodrow Wilson. It wasn't David Lloyd. It wasn't Roger. Chile Karen gets the point. Well done, Chile Karen. The answer was Herbert Asquith. So he was the originator of the Marconi scandal of 1912. In which country was the playwright George Bernard Shaw born? Which country was he born in? The winner immediately is Lois. Lois, you win a point. Lois Petzold. Right, okay. It was Ireland. Right, you get a point. So we're not getting anybody leading ahead here. We're not. You're all doing very. You're mixed bags tonight, but no. He was born in Dublin in 1856. He died in Ayot St. Lawrence, Hertfordshire, aged 94 in 1950, did old George Bernard Shaw. Who designed the dress worn by Michelle Obama at her 2016 final state dinner, and the dress dubbed the Green Jungle dress worn by Jennifer Lopez in 2000? Who designed the dress? Well, no, I need the full name. It cannot just be the Christian. It cannot be the surname. I want the whole name. It was not Sandra Rhodes, and it wasn't Vivienne Westwood. It wasn't Coco Chanel, and it wasn't Vera Wang. I need the whole name of the designer, the lady who designed the dress. It was not Alexander McQueen. It wasn't Christian Lacroix. It wasn't Dolce Gabbana. It wasn't Fanny McAndrew. It was not Stella McCartney. It wasn't Kmart. It wasn't Yves Saint Laurent. It wasn't Victoria Beckham. It wasn't Lewis Hamilton. It wasn't Gucci. It's a woman. It wasn't Tom Ford. So I've already given you clues. Right. Well, Michelle nearly gets there, but doesn't spell it correctly. So you're getting close. I will allow Lois to have a second point. The answer is Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace, who stood down today as the chief of the Versace fashion house. You know, her brother Gianni Versace was murdered by Andrew Cunanan, who is someone who had been very interested in the story of the murder of murdered in Miami. And anyway, there we go. So strange answers from most of you. You're very odd with your odd answers. Jenny Packham, Heather Mills. Heather Mills designed the dress. Oh, wow. Vera Wang. We've got everybody. Tom Ford is your obsession. Plastic surgery. Okay, right. Okay. Well, we don't need to go on about that. Who wrote the 1909 book, The Rat Problem? Who wrote the book about rats?
Rats.
Yeah, The Rat Problem.
Oh.
Who was the author of the book? It's a very famous book about rats, about how close rats are to you. Most people think you're within 6 feet of a rat at any point in your moment of existence. So right now I'm sitting within 6 feet of a rat. What is the name of the author of the book? It wasn't J.R. Hartley, no. Thracian Grapes Gets It with Boatler. It was Boatler. I don't know what his name was, but his name was W.R. Boatler. So Thracian is getting a point. Right, you get a point, Thracian. Right, and now this is where Lady Min needs to shut her mouth because she's already answered this question today because it relates to her own life. I don't want to. So can you be quiet on this question, Lady Min?
What?
Can you be quiet on this question?
Yeah. For sure.
In which city is the soap opera Hollyoaks set? Where is Hollyoaks set? Which city? The fictional soap opera set? Because it's filmed in a different location. Right. Well, Simon Coates wins, which takes Simon Coates to another point. It is set in Chester, but it is not filmed in Chester. It's filmed actually in a place called the Lime Studios in Childwall, Liverpool. And Lady Min is, of course, associated with Childwall, Liverpool. So it's not really in Chester, but it's pretending to be in Chester. There we go. My next question to you is, can a penguin fly? Can a penguin fly? The answer is either yes or no. The answer is no, and the first person is Mr. Lee Kicker. Mr. Lee Kicker gets the point. Well done, Mr. Lee Kicker. Of course, a penguin cannot fly. Penguins are flightless birds, and in Latin they're described as pinguinus. They are plump or fat, without flight or feather. That is what a penguin is defined as. So there we go. Okay, in which ocean is the Galapagos Islands, or are the Galapagos Islands located? Which ocean? They're not in the Atlantic, no. Sandy D gets it with Pacific. Well done to Sandy D. You get a point for that. I hope someone's writing this down because my writing down is useless. Right. Which drug is blamed for making racegoers aggressive at the Cheltenham Festival this very year? Which drug? Which drug are they all on at the Cheltenham Festival? Bazam Arama is going to get the point. It is cocaine, yes. You can have 1 point, but right. No, the snow from the sky is the snow from another thing. You know, there's a cocaine amnesty, and there are sniffer dogs operating on the racecourse. So it's terrible. Okay, what is the name of the man who calls himself Sodom? He's the anti-Brexit campaigner who has been outside Parliament since 2016. What is the name of the protester who's been outside Parliament since 2016? What is his name? Mr. Lee Kicker wins. Right, you get another point with Steve Bray. I love Steve Bray. He's an absolutely wonderful man. He adds to my life. I think he's entertaining. He's a bit bonkers, but you know, at least he is doing something and speaking up for the world. He's not called Margaret Thatcher, no. Right, next question. Who wrote the theme tune used in the BBC Radio 4 soap opera, The Archers? Who wrote the theme tune? What is the name of the composer of the theme tune? It was to do with maypole dancing after the Barwick in Elmet maypole dancing. Who wrote it? It wasn't Evelyn Waugh, no. Right, the first person to get it is Miss Marple. Miss Marple, well done. Miss Marple, you always seem to do very well. It was Arthur Wood. Lady Men loves the music to The Archers, don't you?
Oh, I love it.
Yes, so the
when
music...
you marry me one day, we'll get married to the tune of The Archers, which will be never.
So there we go. Right, next question. Right. In which London street is the Groucho Club located? In which London street?
Lincoln.
She thinks Lincoln. It's not Lincoln. It's not Regent. It's not Peckham. It's not Sloane Square. It's not Curzon. No. No.
Wilton.
Miss Marple gets yes another point. Well done. Miss Marple is going to win this quiz at this rate because the answer is Dean Street.
What's the street?
Dean Street.
Oh yeah.
So the Groucho Club was founded in 1985 by a visionary group of female publishers, and it was operated from Dean Street, Soho. And of course, it was closed last year because of scandals. So there we go. It was nothing to do with Dean Gaffney. No, says Matt Grant wants to talk about Dean Gaffney. He was not a very nice piece of work, was he? But anyway, he didn't have it. It wasn't Gaffney Square, no. But a bit of fun for you. That's a good answer. Like your answer. Love it. But it wasn't because of that very reason. Anyway, so your next question. You've only got 2 more questions to go. When would you use who and when would you use whom? When would you use who and when would you use whom? I need a correct description of who versus whom. Who and whom. When would you use who and when would you use whom? On the bog. Where and where? Where there's a to. Right. when answering a copper. I thought we'd have some funny answers here. Single or plural? No. To whom it may concern. Okay, so none of you are able to answer this question, so I'll just delete your answers. It's ineffective. So my answer to you is you would use it if it's either a he or a she, then it's a it's who. If it's a him or a her, then it's whom, he, whoever is the subject to the verb called in the sentence. Give it whoever deserves it. You give it to whoever deserves it. So there you go. So I'm actually going to award a point to 0 of you on this one. I knew this would happen. Not one of you has got the answer correct. So, but I'm useless with who and whom. I'm as bad as every one of you. It's a terrible question. You say it's the worst question ever. No, it's not the worst question ever because it's actually challenging your mind. So I bring in questions that actually make you think. So no, it's a wonderful question. So shame on you, whoever you are. You can bog off and you can shove it up your jumper. I don't really like people like you. I don't like criticism of my questions. I've spent time thinking about my questions, and my audience, wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Love my questions. So don't you dare criticize my questions. This question was put in there to provoke thought. Nothing other than that. My questions are not some boring standard quiz question. So please, whoever you are, stop daring to criticize my question. Wouldn't you agree?
I think who and you are. It's a very good question.
Yes,
I
Miss
can't answer it
Marple.
myself. I can
No,
try.
I realise that most people cannot answer this question, and I'm a failure on many of my own questions. But I think about my questions, and I spend time. So whoever you are, shove it up your bloody jumper. Don't like you. Anyway, we're on the final question.
And I bet you can't answer it.
And whoever you are, bog off. Anyway, the final question is a more simple question concerning a very rich woman. You know, she's won 16 Grammy Awards, 12 Brit Awards, born in Tottenham, and she's 36 years old. Who sang Make You Feel My Love? Who is the singer of that? And the winner is Lois again with Adele. So thank you, Adele. Thank you to the. So who is our winner? I think our winner is either Lois or Miss Marple, as far as it's not Gloria Hunniford. She did not sing that song, no. But anyway, I think our winner is either, well, Lois and Miss Marple are joint first. You both got 3 points. So thank you very much for participating in our quiz. We loved it. So anyway, I've got 2 of you with 3 points. I don't know. She murdered Bob Dylan's song. There we go. Anyway, Lois and Miss Marple both got 3 points in my way of marking. So I salute you both. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you for joining in with our quiz. Right, we've done our quiz. I can't be doing any more of that. So, right, have you any more questions for me? Come on, questions. Fire me a few questions. I want a few questions from you. Before we close down, we'll have a few questions. Yes. Right. Yankee Wally. I love the Yankee Wally. Yeah, we adore her, don't we, Lady May?
We love her.
We love our Yankee Wally. Yes, she's the best. She's the best in the West. Yankee Wally speaks out against the horrible Meghan. We love Yankee Wally. I'm a big supporter of the Yankee Wally. She's sweet, yes. What do you think I mean about the British word blackguard as an insult? Well, just a horrible person. A blackguard is just a bad person. So, yeah, there you go. I don't know what you want me to say. Right. Have I tried Grey Goose vodka? Well, I did know Sydney Frank, the owner of Grey Goose vodka. And of course, my former person I was associated with did not like Sydney Frank. No, we don't like Grey Goose vodka. It's a load of old horseshit. Horrible stuff. Not very nice. So no, I'm not a fan of Grey Goose vodka. No. That's my view on Grey Goose vodka. Sydney Frank was a nasty piece of work, and he wasn't a kind person, and he upset Maurice Kambar a lot. And Maurice, okay, in the end, I fell out with Maurice, but I'm loyal to Maurice, so no, I don't like.
Who are you talking about?
I don't like Sydney Frank and his horrible vodka. So no, Grey Goose, load of old horseshit. Next question. Right. Can we still send you something to the pub? Well, you can't send me anything to the magnet, no, because it won't get to me. So please don't. There we go. Have I ever tried Chase Gin? I have, yes. Not very exciting. Bit bland. Bit boring.
Master.
What do I think of Weatherspoons? Awful, ghastly, horrible place. Do I like to play drinking games? I'm not into playing games when I drink. I just have a drink because I want to have a drink. I don't need to play a game to have a drink. No. So that's a bit awful. No thanks. Have you sat in and watched a Parliament session? I've been to the Houses of Parliament on many occasions, to the House of Lords, the House of Commons. Yeah, I've been many times. But yeah, of course I have. Right. Can you tell me, have I ever tried a penny farthing? No, I've never been on a penny farthing.
It's a bicycle.
The bicycle with the big. No, it's a bicycle with a big wheel, woman.
Yeah.
No, I've never been on a penny farthing, no. And Lady Min, I don't think it would be a good idea to put her on board. So, no. Right, next question. Have I ever punched anyone? I probably have, yes. I can't recall who. Have I ever tried King Charles's gin? Not that I don't know. I don't know he makes gin, but if he has made a gin, I haven't tried it. What do I think of Fizz Buzz? I don't know who Fizz Buzz is. Have I tried the £19 2-course meal? Where is the £19 2-course meal? Because I haven't tried it. Do I play chess? I can play chess, but it's not my favorite thing. Have you ever been to the Ivy? Yes, I have been to the Ivy, yes. Right, next question. Have I ever been in a helicopter? Yes, I've flown in a helicopter multiple times. Do you like bread and butter pudding? Yes, I do like bread and butter pudding. Right, gosh, this is like really quick fire. Right. Have I ever eaten a horse? No, I've never eaten horse. No, I would not want to eat horse. But I know the French like to eat horses, but I haven't eaten a horse as far as I'm aware. unless I've been given it unwillingly. Right. When was I last in Peckham? I don't know because I haven't been to Peckham as far as I'm aware. So no, I can't say I've been there. When was I last with Jill Dando? Well, she's dead. So no, I've not been with Jill Dando. She's dead. Stupid question. Right. Have I ever been to a harvester restaurant? Not to my knowledge, no. When should one use who and whom? Well, I've already answered that in my quiz questions, so go backwards and look back. Have I ever dated a French lady? Well, no, I haven't. Do I like egg and onion sandwiches with salad cream? That was a strange question. No, I would never eat an egg and onion sandwich with salad cream. So, no. Do you like to swim in the sea? Well, I don't really do swimming, so no. The answer is no. What is my favorite quote? I don't have a favorite quote because I've already told you I don't do favorite anything, so that's boring. That's a really boring question. If you've eaten lasagna, you've eaten horse meat unknowingly. I don't believe so. I don't believe lasagna is made with horse meat. So that's a total load of rubbish. So thank you for that. Have you ever been to Harry Potter World? No, I've not been to Harry Potter World. So there you go. Right. Iceland and Lidl have sausage meat in them. Well, I don't go to Iceland and Lidl, so therefore can't blame me for eating sausage meat. A load of rubbish. Do I like potato cakes? Pancakes, potato pancakes and pork pies. I do like.
Yes.
I like potato cakes. They're lovely things, and I love a pork pie. So, but no, not a potato pancake. I've never heard of that. But yes, I do love a potato cake. So there we go. We agree with that. What's my favourite clothes shop? Bernard Weverall, obviously. Wonderful shop. Got a royal warrant. Have I tried dripping mini cheddars in salsa? But I've never put mini cheddars in anything else. I love mini cheddars, and my friend Jonathan is going to send me some more mini cheddars and some Yorkshire tea because I'm running out of Yorkshire tea. I need Yorkshire tea and I need mini cheddars. So my friend is going to send me some in the post. So there we go. At least I've got a kind friend who's going to help. Right. Are you going to be on a talk show or television soon? Quite possibly. We'll see what happens. Right. Have you tried a Camberwell carrot? I don't know what a Camberwell carrot is, but thank you for your question. I can't answer that question. Is pineapple on pizza okay? I think pineapple on pizza is absolutely fabulous. I love a bit of pineapple on pizza. No problem with that. What does Lady Min like to eat?
Nothing.
Nothing. There we go.
Cornflakes.
No, she doesn't like cornflakes because she won't eat. Is Farage real or is he a fake?
What?
Is Farage a real or a fake? Farage. Is he real or fake?
In between.
She thinks he's an in-between. I'd say he's a fake. There we go. Do I speak French?
It's stylish.
Do I speak French? Well, I don't know. Haggis, neats and tatties. That's not a question. I like haggis neats and tatties, yes. Right. With Nail and I, again, it's not a question. I love With Nail and I. Do you like Frosties? No, I don't like Frosties. Who murdered Claudia Lawrence? I'm afraid, my dear, that's a terrible thing to ask, Matt Grant. Claudia Lawrence was murdered by somebody, but I don't know who murdered Claudia Lawrence, and I cannot answer it. And I'm very, very, very sad. And Lady Min should be quiet for the moment because this is a topic that's very important. Claudia Lawrence was murdered by somebody.
She was married.
No, she was murdered.
Murdered?
No. Lady Min is shouting in the background. This lady was murdered by somebody, but we don't know who murdered her. Nobody knows who murdered her. And we will probably never find out who murdered poor Claudia. Claudia is an innocent victim. She was a chef. She was a 35-year-old woman, and she was murdered by somebody. It's awful what happened to her.
Husband.
Lady Min is interrupting, talking a load of rubbish. She did not have a husband. So that's a load of rubbish. That's the completely stupid theory. This young lady was a chef. She was a single woman, and she was murdered by somebody. And it's terrible what happened. So let's just think of the memory of Claudia Lawrence, an innocent woman who was murdered by somebody. Please, let's try and get justice for Claudia.
She wasn't single.
You hear her shouting in the background. She started again, talking a load of rubbish, an absolute load of ratbag rubbish. I do apologise to you, audience, because she's talking nonsense. Claudia Lawrence, anyway, there we go. Anyway, we'll move on to the next topic. Right, next question. Do I think Lord Lucan escaped, or did he throw himself off Beachy Head? Asks Kathy. I don't know why you particularly think he threw himself off Beachy Head. I think Lord Lucan is dead, but I think Lord Lucan went off the back of a ferry. That's what I will say. My friend is the new Countess of Lucan. She's a wonderful lady, Danish lady, and yeah, her husband is the new Lord Lucan. So there we go. I think that the old Lord Lucan probably threw himself off the back of a ferry. Yes, that is my answer. Right. Next question.
That was fake.
Have you been on a proper camping trip, and have you camped under the stars? I have been camping as a child, yes, and I've been in tents and all the rest of it, yes. So what? Right. Okay. I don't know why you asked that question. Right. Next question. Lord, you do ask some very strange questions, some of you. I have answered your questions. Do you like Mission Impossible movies? I've never watched Mission Impossible movies, so no. There's my answer to you. Don't answer that. I have no answer to give you. I don't watch them. So there you go. Nope. Can I name 4 of Jupiter's moons? No. So please tell me who are four of Jupiter's moons. I don't know the answer. I'm not going to pretend I can't. I'm not going to tell lies. Is Lady Min a missionary impossible? Are you a missionary impossible?
A mission impossible. I would say yes.
She claims she is a mission impossible, not a missionary impossible. Right. Do I like crumpets?
Yes.
Lady Min likes crumpets. I like a crumpet too. Everyone loves a bit of crumpet, don't they?
Can't get them in France.
We can't get them here, so we've got no bloody effing crumpets, have we? Right. Have I ever tried a fisherman's friend? Well, my friend Doreen Lofthouse was the owner of Fisherman's Friends. So Doreen was an absolutely fantastic, wonderful lady, and I love a Fisherman's Friend. So, yep, I'm a bit of an expert on Fisherman's Friends, so don't start me on that topic. But we all love a bit of old crumpet. Yep, says SS Racing. Do I like a fruitcake? I'm not a fruitcake myself, so no.
I love fruitcake.
She'd like a fruitcake. Oh, the old.
With plums in it.
She like plums in her fruitcake. I don't know what she's going on about, but you know, she tends to rant and rave. Right. Right. But do I like FO? What's FO? I've no idea what FO is. Do I like an FO?
Opal.
Susan, spill your tea. You're completely wrong. No, absolutely not. Do I like sushi or a sandwich?
Sandwich.
I'd prefer the sandwich to the sushi. Do I like pavlova? Not really. Have I ever visited a desert? Yes, of course. I've been to Egypt, so yes.
Bread and butter pudding.
I like Egypt, yes. Did I read the Beano when I was young? Yes, I did read the Beano. Yeah. Frisian Grapes doesn't like the sushi. What's Tehran like in the summer? Well, I haven't been to Tehran, so I can't possibly comment. So it's nobody is your name, and well, I think we'll leave it with you to comment. What's your ringtone? I don't know. I don't have a ringtone. My phone doesn't have a noise. Right. Lady Min is behaving very well tonight, says Lee.
Mm.
There we go. Have you ever got badly sunburned? Not really, no. You got some good pictures of the lunar blood moon. It's still looking reddish in Dallas, Texas. Okay, well, that's nice. I hope you had a lovely time looking at the lunar blood moon. Did you read Whizzer and Chips? Asks Josie. I can't say I've ever read Whizzer and Chips. How do you like your steak? Asks Sebastian. Well, we had some steak today. It wasn't a very nice steak, I will admit.
I don't remember having that steak.
It wasn't very good, but it was a little bit overcooked. It was a bit undercooked, I will say. Are you good at water sports? No, I'm not really into sailing or anything else. What's my idea of the perfect date night? Just get pissed. Right.
Sirloin.
Right.
Medium to well done.
How do you like your eggs in the morning? Well, I don't really eat eggs very much, but if I did, I'd have parboiled. Okay, yes. So there we go. Right. What's the next question? Do I have soldiers with the eggs? Well, if I were going to have boiled eggs with soldiers, well, I'd have the soldiers, wouldn't I? Have I been to the Titanic Museum in Belfast? No, I haven't been to the Titanic Museum in Belfast. No, I haven't been there. Do you like whiskey? Yes, I do like whiskey. What time do you like to start drinking? As
J and B.
No, as I've always said, time is only for the middle classes. If you want to have a drink whenever you want it. Right, there we go. Right, there we are. It's 10 o'clock. Why do eggs even need soldiers? Asks Mr. Lee Kicker. Do you like Jeeves and Worcester? I don't mind Jeeves and Worcester. Does no harm. Do I like foie gras pate? I don't mind it. Nothing wrong with it. Do you do date? I don't know what do you do date means, but anyway, you start drinking whenever you like, says Christine. People ask the dumbest questions. I agree with you, Christine. People should stop asking silly questions. Well done to you. You rock. You're the best. You're speaking sense, love. I really like you. I think you talk more sense than any of them. I don't give a damn about all that nonsense. I don't need any more nonsense. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere, says Susan with Spill Your Tea. Anyway, I don't need someone telling me what to do. So thank you ever so much to the lovely lady who made the vital point. Well done. I drink to make other people more interesting, says Amanda. Well, that's a nice thing to say. Don't we agree? We like that kind of view of life. I keep losing calculators. They all add up.
Yep.
Well said. We like people who throw in a few yes. So, right. There we go. Anyway, we move along to another topic, please. Enough is enough with all this rubbish. What game shows do you watch? I don't watch game shows, but I used to like Bullseye. Yes, that's a nice program. Right. Do I like animals and pets? Do I like animals and pets?
Dogs.
Well, in my life, I've had dogs, and I've had donkeys, a zonkey. I've had llamas. I've had horses. I've had
Squirrel.
ferrets. I've had all sorts of animals as pets. So, I do have a lot of things in my orbit. So, yeah, lots of animals. Yep, lots of animals. I've never had a hamster, no. What was my donkey called? Well, we had one called Denzel. So there's the name of one.
Cute.
Right. There we go. But no, I had a Zonk. Zonk was called Zonk. And Zonk was a legend. So shove it up your jumper and stop whinging about my animals if you want to criticize me being an animal keeper. I don't like people having a pop at me. I loved Zonk. Zonk was my favorite. And we had, I had a wolfhound. And I used to like to bite the bums of women. It didn't like women. Just didn't like women, this dog. He used to bite them in the bum. It was a very aggressive dog. And then I had the lovely Oscar, who was an English pointer. And he loved everybody. He was the most lovely dog on the planet. And I buried him on the moor in Lancashire. I carried his body up the moor and I buried him with my dad. And I dug a pit and I buried that dog because I loved that dog more than I loved anything on the planet. That dog meant more to me than anything on the earth, ever. I loved the dog Oscar.
What's his name?
Oscar. And I loved that dog. And it was 16 years old when it died. It was an English pointer, and that was my very favorite dog. And it was bought a week before I was born, and I lived with it for my whole life. And that dog was devoted to me, and I was devoted to it. I loved that dog. For 16 years, I loved that dog. And when I was 16 years old, I buried it, and I dug a pit on the moor with my dad, and I went up there because I was so upset about its dying. And I'm going to cry now because I loved that dog. I don't think you realize, people, that dog meant more to me than anything ever because it was my first ever dog. I had lots of dogs. We had lots of animals because we lived on a farm. You know, we had plenty of animals, but that dog was the dog that I associated with. And it was part of my life. And when people make me talk about something, I become emotional. And I really haven't thought about this dog for a while. And now I'm upset. So, no, I loved the dog Oscar. It was the most beautiful English pointer. Fabulous dog. Absolutely beautiful. Black and white. And it lived to 16 years old. The dog should live to about 12 normally. But this one lived to 16 years old. Fabulous dog. Absolutely beautiful. And thank you to Oscar for being a wonderful dog. And it makes me upset. So anyway, I'm going to try and not be upset. But here we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, next question. Right. There we go. I just ask me another question. I want to change the topic because I can't. Please, thank you. It's a touching topic. Yes, it was. I loved that dog. You don't realize how much I loved that dog. It was my first ever dog. Then I had a wolfhound as well, and all sorts of other things. And we had many dogs, and then we had, there we go. Have I got Gloria's phone number? Yes, I have Gloria's phone number, but I don't care about Gloria. She's a boring pain in the arse. Not interested in her. So let's just throw her in the bin. Do I grieve Cilla Black's passing? No. She's a horrible bitch. Horrible cow. Right, you're in my heart. Yes, well, have I ever dated a dwarf? No, I've never dated a dwarf, no. I don't know why you ask, but dwarves are lovely people. There's nothing, I have no personal problem with a dwarf. So don't be nasty to dwarves, please. That's not a very nice question. Where's Anthea Turner? Wherever she wants to be, I don't know. Can't answer that question. Do you think the House of Lords should be abolished? No, I don't think the House of Lords should be abolished. I think the House of Lords should be extended. I think it's a wonderful thing. No problem with the House of Lords myself, but big up for the dwarves. Yes, dwarves, great. We love a dwarf, don't we, men?
Absolutely.
We've no problem with dwarves. Don't pick on dwarves. Leave the dwarves alone.
Absolutely. They're short people. So what?
Would I go out skinny dipping with Michael Barrymore? Well, that's an appalling question. That's absolutely awful. Don't make fun of Stuart Lubbock's murder. Stuart Lubbock was murdered at the home of Michael Barrymore, and I have confronted Michael Barrymore's agent. I don't want any jokes made on my channel about Stuart Lubbock. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Min? Stuart Lubbock is a victim.
It's disgusting.
Stop making fun of a man who is the father of 2 children who has been murdered. These 2 children are growing up with no father. So shame on you for even bringing it up. Disgusting. If you carry on bringing it up, we'll ban you from this channel. Yes?
Yes.
We want you banned. Nobody picks on the family of Stuart Lubbock. So shut your mouth, shut your face, put a fucking sock in it. Shame on you. Okay, that's all I want to say about that. Absolutely appalling. Do not pick on the family of the Lubbocks. No. Absolutely sickening. Disgusting. Have I ever met James Hunt? No, Lady Min has met James Hunt. I know James Stunt. There we go. Between us, we know 2 different people. Have I met Nikki Lauder? No, I've never met Nikki Lauder. No. Right.
Racing drivers.
Yes. But I do not want to tolerate abuse of the family who are the victims of Barrymore's pool murder. I'm sorry, I am not prepared to have people being rude here about that. So if you want to be nasty and vile and support Michael Barrymore, fuck off, bog off, shut your fucking trap, get out of there. I am very upset by you because Michael Barrymore created a party where 9 people went to a house and 8 of them lived. And this poor man left behind 2 children who don't have a father. Shame on you. Shame on the lot of you. You're disgusting, you piece of filth. I don't like you people, and I'm very upset by this. And you make me very, very, very extremely angry. And I'm not going to shut up. I'm never going to shut up. So explain yourselves. Don't harass me with your nonsense. I don't want to hear any more excuses about Michael effing Barrymore. He's a disgusting piece of filth. Revolting. I challenged Michael Barrymore. I gave him 48 hours to respond. He hasn't had the courage to do it because he's a coward. He's an absolute cowardly custard. He's a waste of space. Come on, Barrymore. Man up. Face me, Barrymore. You won't. But it won't happen, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, never mind.
He won't.
He won't do it because he's a coward. I rang his agent, Keith Bishop. Mr. Bishop, where are you, Bishop? You piece of rubbish. He's another piece of junk. He should be thrown in the funny farm. Keith bloody Bishop. He's a disgusting person. And he said, oh, Michael's just having fun. Said his assistant. She said, he's having fun.
It's not about fun.
It's not funny for the Lubbock family. Stuart Lubbock was murdered and raped on the
Thrown in the pool.
1st of March 21, in 21, and He was murdered with a pool thermometer and a door handle. He was murdered with these two implements. And this little rat thinks it's funny. And she said, this stupid cow that works for this Keith Bishop, Ashmar or something her name is. I've got her name written down somewhere. She had to say for herself, oh, well, you know, Michael's a lovely, likable bloke. He is not a lovely, likable bloke. He is a man who ran away from the crime scene. 9 people went to a party. 8 of them lived, and he ran away before the police turned up. He is a disgusting man, and he was involved in a situation that involved a rape and a murder of a poor man. And his boyfriend at the time was a convicted abuser of people. He was a pretty bad person, was that old bloke. Now, I'm not saying Michael Barrymore is a murderer, but Michael Barrymore ran away from the scene of a crime. Why did Michael Barrymore not stay there and speak with the police? Michael Barrymore is a disgusting piece of toe rag. And I'm not going to shut up about Michael Barrymore because I think it's time that somebody spoke out and said the truth. Don't you agree, Lady Min?
I think he's become ugly, unattractive, lost his style, lost everything.
He is not. I disagree with her analysis, but she makes some valid points. But he is vile, he's sick, and he's wrong. What he's done to this family, the victims, the children, 2 children have grown up with no father. How is that right?
He does not care.
We want him locked up. I want him in prison. I'm sorry, I'm not going to give up. I can't stand Michael Barrymore. Michael Barrymore is a wicked, evil man. He's on YouTube. Yes, we know he's on YouTube. Thank you, Lars.
He can't go on anything else.
He may be on it, but he doesn't dare face me. We've challenged him, and his cowardly cunt agent has not even bothered to respond. And the word C, the C word, is actually very important for him. So he can shove that up his jacksie. No. Right. Am I going to appear on Britain's Got Talent? No, I don't believe so. No. I'm talking about Michael Barrymore. I want Michael Barrymore brought to justice. Michael Barrymore, shame on him. Shame on this piece of rubbish. He's a disgrace. He's a creepy yuck. Yeah, I agree with you, Christine. Thank you, Christine. You're very kind to say the right thing. You agree. Yes, thank you. We have to agree. This man, Barrymore, is disgusting. He's the hokey cokey, sniffy. Yep, he is exactly that. Christine says, Lady Min is a class act. There you go. You get an accolade. He is morally bankrupt. Yes, Angela, you are Ange B. You're right. He is morally bankrupt. Totally morally bankrupt. He's revolting. He is one of the worst people on the entire planet.
And he ran away to Australia to get away from it all.
He belongs behind bars, says RL77. He's not funny, says Matt Grant. He's not funny. No, he's not entertaining. He's awful. He definitely knows more than he's letting on, and he plays the symphony card. I think you mean sympathy, but says best. Right, there we go. We don't like Michael Barrymore. Michael Barrymore deserves the birch.
His name has died. Why do you keep talking about him?
He's a clown and he's on speed. He played his cards wrong. He is horrible. There we go. There's more evidence. None of you like him. He is a wicked, evil man. Well, there we go.
Load of rubbish.
The media have tried more than once to put him back in the media. Well, they have tried, but
No, he's tried.
he has tried, but the media don't want him. And it's not all right. No. Why did the police investigation stall? Because the police were useless. The police did nothing to get rid of him. He's a crook. The police have failed because the police are rubbish. Trev has gone quiet. Yes, well, there you go. Right. Anyway, I will just say this man, Barrymore and Mike and Savile are the same. He was on Piers Morgan, I think. Yes, well, Piers Morgan did nothing to expose him. Shame on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan was absolutely appalling in this situation. What did Jimmy Savile love about the 29-year-olds? There were 20 of them. Right, I don't know. That's a strange question. Right, anyway, but no. Realistically, horrible stories. I don't think I need any more of these horrible comments because the comments are horrible. Yes, he did get down on his knees and kiss. He did get down on his knees and kiss Jimmy Savile. That is what Barrymore did. Barrymore got on his knees and kissed Jimmy Savile. And he also dressed up as Hitler. Can you imagine somebody so revolting that you could get on your knees and worship Jimmy Savile, the worst paedophile in history, by kissing him, kissing his hand, and getting on your knees and kissing his hand for Celebrity Big Brother, and also getting down on your knees and also dressing up as Hitler? That is disgusting. And that is what Barrymore is. We hate Barrymore. I don't hate anybody on the planet. I've never hated it. Hatred is not a normal reaction. I can dislike, but I hate Barrymore. Barrymore is disgusting. He is a man who dressed up as Hitler. Can you imagine thinking it funny to dress up as Hitler? You think this is a bit of fun?
Prince Harry did.
No, Prince Harry never dressed up as Hitler. He dressed up as a Nazi. It's a different thing. Lady Min is wrong on that one. And can you imagine getting down on your knees to worship Jimmy Savile, a paedophile? Can you imagine getting on your knees and worshipping him and saying, "I love you, Jimmy Savile"? That is what Michael Barrymore is. Michael Barrymore is scum, he's filth, he's disgusting, he's evil, he's vile, and I want that man to apologize for what he's done. 9 people went to a house on the date in March 2001, and 8 of them lived. And 2 children don't have a father. I want an apology from Michael Barrymore to those two children. That's what I want. And I expect Michael Barrymore to do it. I have rung Keith Bishop yesterday. Mr. Keith Bishop hasn't even had the courtesy to call me back because he's a fucking coward. He's a fucking pain in the ass. Another nuisance. Mr. Keith Bishop, come on, Bishop. You are the agent of that scumbag. You know, a man who dresses up as Hitler. A man who
It's a load of rubbish.
Gets down on his knees and pretends to worship Jimmy Savile, a paedophile. You really have quality clients, don't you, Keith Bishop? Keith Bishop Associates. And don't worry, Keith Bishop, I'm going to go after you. I'm after you now because you don't even have the courtesy to call me back. And you little woman, Alara or something she's called, Alara. Yeah, well, she said that someone would call back within 1 hour. No one did. So you're a cowardly organization, aren't you? You are the PR firm for a man who caused a terrible situation. There were 9 people who went to a party on March the 31st, 2001, at a house in a bungalow in Roydon in Essex, and 9 people went and 8 people lived. And you are the representative of the disgusting scumbag man who ran away. He didn't wait for the police to arrive when there was a death. A man who was the father of 2 innocent children.
Didn't even call the police.
He didn't call the police. No. Oh, no. And Lady Min here is right on that score. And that's where Lady Min scores the point. Well done to her. It's disgraceful that this coward and the bin man ran away from the scene of the murder. Shame on Michael Barrymore. Michael Barrymore is a piece of filth. He's a scumbag. He's a piece of rot bag, whatever you want to call him. Shit bag. I don't know what word I can use.
I hate the word.
I don't like the man. What he did to that family is wrong. These poor children have no father. Michael Barrymore took away those children's. No, he took away their parents. It's wrong. Michael Barrymore should be ashamed of himself.
He couldn't care less.
It's not correct. So I'm not prepared to say anything other than I wish to say, and that is I cannot stand this wicked, evil bastard, Michael Barrymore. He's a very bad man. Yes. Have I tried mud wrestling? That's got nothing to do with it. Michael Barrymore is an appalling person. Please stop lowering the tone by what's a vagabond? No, we don't need to go in about other things. You love my rants. It's not a rant. I'm just telling the truth. Yes, I can talk about whoever I choose. Thank you, Christine. Thank you. Yeah, I will talk about whoever I choose because I don't think it's fair that people accept this Barrymore for being amusing. He's not amusing. He doesn't amuse anybody. He's a twit. The man's a moron. You loved the Matthew rant. Thank you. But I'm not ranting. I'm trying to say that we want justice for the Lubbock family. That's all we want. No. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm very sorry that some of you don't agree with me, and you're entitled.
She's living 20 years ago.
I'm very sorry that some of you think that I should not speak out against him, that he deserves, a bit of space. He does not deserve any space. He's a horrible, vile, evil man. Sorry. Could I join a podcast with Sonia Poulton? I don't know Sonia Poulton, and I don't want to do a podcast with Sonia Poulton. I've spoken with friends of mine about doing other podcasts. I'm better off doing my own. I don't want to join other people's podcasts, so no. So thank you, but no. The answer is no to that. So thank you. Right. Can I rant about Keir Shiraya Law Starmer? No, I don't need to talk about the Keir Starmer's laws. No. I'll talk about whatever I wish to talk about, but no. I am. Would you like to go on Sean Atwood's stream? No, I don't want to go on Sean Atwood's stream. Thank you, but I wish Sean Atwood all the best, but I do my own thing. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. Right. Do I think the Menendez brothers will be released? I believe so, yes. I think we're getting closer to the Menendez brothers being released, and I'm very much supporting the Menendez brothers. Yeah, bring it on. Love the Menendez brothers. Right. Would I do a program on Barrymore? Well, Barrymore is not prepared to face me. I've already tried to speak with Barrymore's agent, and Barrymore's agent is too cowardly to. He's, this Keith Bishop. Keith Bishop is a coward. Come on, Keith Bishop. Man up, Keith Bishop. Face me, Keith Bishop. I'm prepared to speak with you. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Min?
I hate anybody called Keith.
She doesn't like anyone called Keith. No, but I don't want. I would like to speak with Keith.
Keith.
Come on, Keith.
Keith is not even the keys of the door.
Anyway, Keith should be facing me. Sorry, come on. Let me speak. Keith should face me, shouldn't he? I've challenged him.
But he won't.
He's a coward. Keith the coward. Come on, Keith the coward. Get yourself out of the cupboard. I'll give Keith 48 hours. Keith Bishop. Come on, Keith. We've tried Michael Barrymore. He hasn't bothered to answer. So let's have Keith. Come on, Keith. Right. Maybe I'll call Keith right now. I'll call him right. We'll do it right now on the phone.
Well, he phoned you this morning, didn't he?
We did have a little phone call with Keith. Let's call Keith. All right. Okay. Let's try calling Keith. Probably get no answers. Let's call him. We're calling Keith live on air. I've never done this before. This could be a bit of fun.
He won't answer.
He won't answer. He'll be Keith. The only good Keith in the history of the world. Here we are. He's not available.
Leave a message after the tone. To end the recording,
Here we go.
press hash.
Hello, Keith Bishop. You didn't bother to call me back. Not very acceptable, that was. I'm trying to call you about your client, the lovely Michael Barrymore, class act that he is, piece of trash. You didn't bother to call me back, so I'm going to leave my phone number here. I'm going to just, you've got my phone number already. I'm not going to read it out because I'm actually recording this live and it's on YouTube. So there you go. I would like you to call me back, Bishop. Mr. Bishop.
No.
Give me a call back, Bishop. You coward. Bye-bye. There we go. That's all I can
Why
do.
is he allowed to call you?
He didn't bother to call back. So Mr. Bishop is a coward.
But he called you this morning, right?
Yeah, he did call me this morning, but not for much. There
Why
we go.
did he do that?
Anyway, there we go. I didn't leave my number because I don't want to leave my number on the thing because obviously it would not be wise.
Well, he knows it anyway.
No, not him. Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. Right. Yeah, come on, Bishop, you coward. Oh, say Sebastian. No, there we go. Thank you for your support. I like to stir the pot. Anyway, you know how I do things. I am not scared of anybody. I'll face up to somebody, and I just did.
My Sebastian, then I know.
I just, phone Edwina Curry. I don't have Edwina Curry's number. Why would I phone her? I don't need to phone Edwina Curry. She hasn't done anything wrong to me. But this one, you wanted me to phone Bernie Eccleston. No, I don't. I'm not going to be doing that. No. Prank call people in your phone. No, I've called Bishop. But I didn't give Bishop my phone number on air because I don't want to do that. I'm not going to be doing it that way. But I did make a phone call. You heard me do it. So I've called Bishop. And we want Bishop to face me, don't we? We don't like Bishop. Lady men, do we like Bishop?
I don't know who he is.
No, Bishop. Michael Barrymore's agent. We don't like
anything to do with Barrymore.
Anyway, we're facing up to the truth. We'll stand up to the creep. Awful. Awful. Absolutely shocking. Right. Anyway, ring Bishop at 7:00 tomorrow. Okay. Ring Piers Morgan. Well, no, Piers Morgan has done nothing wrong to me. I don't have a problem with Piers Morgan. And my friend is married to Piers Morgan, so I don't know Piers Morgan myself, but I did know his wife before she was married to him. But I don't have a problem with her. So no, I'm not going to be provoking that bear. But no, I will continue to speak out against Bishop and Barrymore. I don't like Barrymore, and I'm going to wreck Barrymore's life because Barrymore is an evil, 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 evil piece of toe rag. Shame on him. Right. What do I think about interracial couples? I don't have a problem with interracial marriage. No. So I don't know why you're asking me that question. That's a very strange question. There we go. No. Let people who are from different races marry. I've absolutely no problem with a black person marrying a white person. If that's what they wish to do, leave them alone. Let them be happy. Come on. That's not a nice question. So I don't like your question. So whoever you are, shove that fucking question back up your bloody jacksie. Disgusting. Absolutely appalled by the question. Don't like it. No, I don't like racism. I love people from all walks of life. Don't be nasty, please. That's a horrible, horrible thing you've just said. That's disgusting. I really am very upset with whoever you are. So don't you ever come back on my channel, bog off, fuck off, and don't you come back here being nasty and racist in my audience, because that's unkind and you've upset me. I'm really upset by that. Awful. Disgusting question. Absolutely sick, revolting, and appalling. Go away. Whoever you are, shove it up your jumper. Shove it up your whatever. I just don't want you in my presence. Go away. Thank you. Do I like zoos? Do I like a zoo? Well, I prefer animals to be free and wandering around, but it's nice to visit a zoo, yes. So I don't know. That's a very odd question also. You loved the best Keith in the world, Keith Floyd. Yes, I loved Keith Floyd too. So yes, Stevie D, you made a very lovely point. You've cheered me up after the nasty, horrible remark from the horrible person. That was a horrible, horrible remark. And I really am very upset by that one. Very bad. What happened to Noel Edmonds? Well, as long as he's in a bin, it doesn't matter. Noel Edmonds is awful. Not the kind of person I'd like to spend any time with. Right. Well said. Yes. Well, I'm sorry. I just can't tolerate people being racist. It's appalling in that way. That was awful. That was the worst thing I've ever come across. You like to go, Simon says, to the zoo in Jersey. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy that. Right, Keith Floyd was great, says Des Dog. Do I travel to France on the Eurostar? Well, I've been on the Euro shuttle with the car. Yes, we drove here. That's how we got here. Right. Lots of Keith Floyd. Yes, we all love Keith Floyd. Absolutely wonderful, fabulous man. I'm sorry about the other thing. It was just, that was an absolutely appalling comment. Whoever that was, I hope my moderator has banned that person from this channel forever, because that was the most nasty comment I've ever come across. We don't need nasty people like you in our orbit. We want you gone. F off out of our orbit, you horrible person. No. You're not a racist, says somebody. You're taking my question the wrong way. I'm not a racist. Oh, really? Well, I'm telling you, you are a racist, so bog off. Go away. Don't come back here. I don't want to hear from you ever again, you horrible person. Have I met John Nettles? I'm going to move on. I don't want to talk with nasty people, so go away. Have I ever met John Nettles, who, of course, was Bergerac? No, I've never met John Nettles, but, of course, was the thing that the follow-on from Inspector Morse, the follow-on, I've forgotten his name. Anyway, he was a very nice actor. Lovely man. No, I never met him, no. Did my ears pop in the Channel Tunnel? No, they did not, no. What do I think about Anthony Bourdain's suicide? I don't have an opinion, but it was very sad that the poor man killed himself. He was a very nice gentleman. I'm very sorry he died. It's a shame that youngsters don't realize what sort of person Michael Barrymore is and what he did. I explained to my son, yet he's 24, and they now they know. Yes, well, your son has rightly been told that Michael Barrymore is a disgusting man who had a party and ran away from the death of a man who was the father of 2 children. It's disgusting. So well done to you, Loz. Please, Loz, keep telling your children to tell other children how appalling that he is. So your child, who's 24, is a good child, and he should spread the word that Michael Barrymore is a wicked, evil piece of toe rag. Awful. Right. Okay. People think that. There we go. Armani Jones says that Mr. Lee Kicker, I apologise. I didn't mean to sound like a racist. I won't ask such questions going forward. Um, well, Armani Jones, whoever you are, stop supporting Michael Barrymore because Michael Barrymore is a piece of turd. He's a bad piece of news. He's awful. So go away. Don't try and upset my audience with your nonsense. So thank you, Armani Jones. We're not really interested in hearing any more of your nonsense. So put one sock in it and put it in the other part of your body and bog off. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Right. Are we in Provence or near the coast? We're not in Provence. We're in a place called Port Grimaud near Saint-Tropez. You loved Peter Cushing. Is such a gentleman, says Stevie D. Peter Cushing lived in Whitstable. He was an amazing gentleman, Peter Cushing. Great actor, yes. Wonderful. Sarah Byrne loves Midsummer Murders. We love a bit of Midsummer Murders. Fantastic. Right. We don't need to apologize to you know who. Well, no. Well, I'm not apologizing at all to anyone, not people who speak so rudely. No, we don't apologize to any old morons. I'm sorry.
I agree.
We
You do
we
not
support
apologise for
the
anything.
family of the Lubbock family. The Lubbock family have lost, Stuart Lubbock, a lovely man who was the father of two children, and his father, Terry, died before his son, got any there was no justice for his son before he died. So come on, we have to stand with the Lubbock family. We stand for justice, do we not, Lady Men?
What, darling?
We stand for justice for the Lubbock family. We want for justice for the children of Stuart Lubbock.
I feel very, very sad about them.
We want justice for the children and justice for Terry, a man who died before he could get justice. So
I don't know the story about the man that died. I can't get to the bottom of that.
Anyway, she doesn't need to keep going on, but I'm telling you the story, and that's it. That is the truth.
I can't understand how the man came from a pub.
No, anyway.
Got involved with
Anyway, you've got to be quiet. Be quiet. Come on.
Well,
don't start.
I want to get. I'd like to know. I don't really care. I don't want all my brain with them.
Anyway, we need to move on. Right. So anyway, justice for the Lubbock family. That is what I want. So there we go. Right. Next part of the story. Am I trying to look like Dracula?
What?
Do I look like Dracula?
No, you don't.
I've never intentionally tried to look like Dracula. So nobody, whoever you are, I don't know why your question is being asked, but if you think I look like Dracula, I look like Dracula. Well, there we go.
You would be hanging around with me if you looked like anything better than good looking.
Anyway, I look like Dracula, supposedly, according to this person.
Well, tell us to shut up. What does she look like?
Anyway, I don't know who you are or why you think I look like Dracula, but cheers to you and cheers to me. And, well, I don't look like Dracula as far as I'm aware.
And what do you look like?
Anyway, nobody needs to worry. Right. There we go. So, next question. Dracula is very smart. Okay. Dracula was very handsome.
What?
Right. Okay. We all think that I'm Dracula. Right. Dracula drank a lot of good blood. Okay. You need another drink. Yes, it's empty.
Yeah, I need another drink.
I need another drink. Yes.
Could you get me one?
It's a little bit difficult to get another
Before you
drink.
get on the next question. Or I've got to get up and fall over and get it myself.
Well, I'll go and get some more drinks. I'll be back in a moment. Oh, gosh. Before someone ruins my TV show.
Well, that's normal. Did we eat anything today? Nothing.
We have eaten.
What did we eat?
Anyway, we're back on the old show. So
What
here we
did
go.
we eat
Here we
today?
go. Here we go. We're back on the show. Sorry for the delay. Back again. Cheers to you and cheers to me and cheers to me if we disagree. Right, here we go. She has eaten today, but she doesn't remember.
I got a quarter of a quarter.
No,
of a
she ate
glass of
steak for lunch. She did have a steak lunch. So
wine. What do we have?
anyway, doesn't matter. Not trying to be mean. Anyway, what's my thoughts on Peter Cook? I don't have any thoughts
Not
particularly
eating pizza.
on Peter Cook. She turns Peter Cook into pizza. We can't even have a conversation about anything. You've had plenty of wine. Did I like the Cook report? Yes, I didn't mind the Cook report. It was quite an interesting series. Josie wants to tell us that Dracula was a fictional character created by Bram Stoker. Well, of course, Bram Stoker lived in Royal Avenue, Chelsea, and of course, Dracula was based in Whitby. And, I know rather a lot about both things. So, I did rather grow up with the story of Bram Stoker and Dracula, yes. So I know an awful lot about that. So have I read The Third Policeman by Flann O'Brien? No, I haven't read The Third Policeman by Flann O'Brien. You've met Mike McCartney a few times. I don't know who Mike McCartney is. You loved the late Ollie Reed, yes. Oliver Reed was an entertaining gentleman. I will say that, but I don't know what he's got to do with this particular part of the story. So, Lily in Pink, Lily the Pink. I don't know what that means. Absolutely no idea. So can't answer that question either. We just do whatever we want. Right. Have I read the book of Paul Matthew? I've never read the book of Paul Matthew, no. No, I don't know it. What's the book of the Paul Matthew? I don't know it. It sounds like a... We'll drink a drink to Lily the Pink. Okay. Oliver Reed. Are you on about Oliver Reed? I'm not an expert on Oliver Reed. I don't know much about Oliver Reed, but I do know that he is entertaining. Have I read Kenneth Williams or Joe Orton? Well, Joe Orton was a lunatic who ended up with being murdered with somebody in Sloane Square, wasn't it? Right, I don't know. You're sending a wave and a love to Lady Min. There we are. Thank you. Right. You've got to wave to Lady Min. Right. Bess says, can you write to Dracula?
Who?
I haven't. Have I been to Burr Island? No, I haven't been to Burr Island. I'd like to go there, but it's for sale for 15 million, and I have written about it. I would love to go to Burr Island. Yes, it's one place that I would love to go to.
Where's that?
It's off the coast of Devon. It's where Agatha Christie wrote many books. Right. Have I been to Slane Castle? No, I've never been there.
Where?
Slane Castle. I don't know where it is.
I've been there.
Will Andrew Windsor ever go back to America? Asks RL77. Prince Andrew probably will never go back to America. No, because it would be very dangerous for him. He could be arrested. So it's not a wise idea, is it? It's better off that Prince Andrew just goes to other places. Prince Andrew is a pain in the arse and he's boring. No one likes him. He's horrible. Disgusting, horrible man. Have I been to Canvey Island? No, I've never been to Canvey Island. Patrick Kavanagh was a much finer poet than Seamus Heaney, says Josie Muldowney. I don't know Patrick Kavanagh, but I do love the poetry of Seamus Heaney. So please, Josie Muldowney, send me the poetry of Patrick Kavanagh. My email address is editorial@thesteepletimes.com. Please send me that poetry. I'd love to read it. I'd love to see what I think of it. I love Seamus Heaney. You know, he has a pen and he digs with it. And I love the poetry of Seamus Heaney. So come on, give me the alternative. If you want to claim that someone is better, not that I think, you know, people are always different. It'd be nice to have a look at the poetry of the man you mentioned. So editorial@thesteepletimes.com. Send me the poetry, please. Thank you. It'd be lovely if you could. Thank you. Very nice of you to do. Have I been to Arran in Scotland? No, I haven't been to Arran. I've heard about Arran. I'd love to go there. Yes, one day I'll go to Arran, but not been there yet. No. So unfortunately, not one I've been to yet. I love Iona, Staffa, Altnahara, all the places that I've been to. I love Scotland. Absolutely the best place on the planet. I love Scotland. But we don't like sturgeon fish. We don't like her. She's horrible. Wicked, horrible bitch. Right. Okay. Next question. Right. I'm trying to find a question. Right. Most of you love Formentera. Okay. Well, that's a different kind of place. Right. Slane Castle is where Bram Stoker stayed and got the idea for Dracula. It's in Aberdeenshire. It's a ruin. Well, I didn't know that. So thank you for educating me. No, I've never been to Slane Castle. Who is the rudest person I've ever met?
Min.
No, the worst person I've ever met has to be... Golly gosh, I've got to think. Oh God, there's so many options. Let me think. The worst person I've ever met. This is a great question because I've met so many lovely people.
You haven't met one.
No, I have met awful people. The rudest person I've ever met. Well, we talked a bit about Michelle Mone earlier. She's a vile, horrible person.
You can name me.
But no, the worst person I've ever met. Golly gosh. Golly, that's a hard thing to be as an achiever. As you know, you don't want to be the worst person. Um, I'm struggling here. I really am. It wasn't Anthea. It wasn't Prince Andrew. It wasn't Bernie Eccles. Oh no, all these people. They're just boring people. Cilla Black was definitely not the most worst person I've ever met. No, it wasn't Nigel Farage. It wasn't Nicola Sturgeon. It wasn't Gloria Hunniford. It wasn't Tamara Eccleston. It wasn't it wasn't Diane Abbott. No.
Say no one.
No, I've got to choose one, so I'm going to choose one. It wasn't David Mellor. He was particularly awful. Gandhi, no, well, Gandhi never did anything bad to me. No, I don't know why. It wasn't Michael Barrymore. No, he's just an evil person. Right, you all have a view. My God, it wasn't Richard and Judy. No, Judy is just
Tony Blair.
She's shouting Tony Blair, but I actually like Tony Blair, so no. So that definitely. It wasn't Meghan Markle. It wasn't Hugh Grant. It wasn't Mother Teresa. Though I'm not allowed to talk about this because if you dare, you get cancelled. Mother Teresa was actually one of the nastiest people on the planet. She's just an old bully. Not a nice woman. But if you dare say it, you get told off. It wasn't Jeremy Kyle. But anyway, no, if you dare criticize Mother Teresa, you are cancelled. She is, Martin Brunt and the woman he doorstepped. Well, Martin Brunt and I, when we actually met in reality, I didn't find Martin Brunt that bad. So, sorry.
He's nice.
He was actually quite pleasant to me when we met in reality.
He's nice.
You heard that Mother Teresa was a horrible woman. Well, she was very rude, I found. Margaret Thatcher was one of the nastiest people you ever met. Well, no. Margaret is an absolute treasure. The best. Boris Johnson, he was awful. The guy who tried to strangle you in the hotel.
He's ineffectual.
No, the most unpleasant person I probably ever met. Unpleasant, if we're talking about unpleasant, because it's a particularly graphic description. Unpleasant would have to go to unpleasant. I think the most unpleasant woman I've ever met is the horrible Karen Brady, Lady Brady. She is one of the most unpleasant people I've ever encountered. She is a slumbag, piece of rubbish. She's called Lady Karen Brady. Lady Brady is her name. Her name is Karen Brady. She works for the pornographers. She is disgusting. And as my father calls her, my father really doesn't like this horrible woman either. She is, disgusting, lowbrow piece of rubbish. No, I don't like Karen Brady. Yeah, if you want the most unpleasant person I've ever had to put up with, Karen Brady. And she wrote a very nasty article about James Stunt. And I criticized it. And she had a pop at me. Well, she can have a pop at me as much as she wants, but she's just not a very nice person. Lady Brady is hashtag, I call her hashtag lazy Brady. She is a scumbag, self-promoting scumbag woman. Who's on this dragon's, what's it called? Whatever it's called, The Apprentice. She's got no class. She's a classless piece of scum. So no, out of all the people in the world, yeah, I'm glad to call out hashtag lazy Brady. My father, who is a very old man, and my dad is an elderly gentleman, and he has more decency in his body than this woman has in a vein of her face. Her Botoxed up face, lazy Brady. So he said, hashtag, Lady Dildo flogger, because that's what she is. She's an associate of people who sell dildos, sex toys. That's what she's there. And she was promoted to the House of Lords by David Cameron. Shame on you, David Cameron, for putting this piece of filth into the House of Lords. So no, there we go. Yes, involved with Alan Sugar, aid of Alan Sugar. Yeah, another creep. You can't even handle my answer. No. Karen Rita Brady. Yeah, no. Karen with 2 R's says no more. Yep. I'm very glad that you all dislike Karen, because the word Karen isn't a nice name anyway, is it? No one likes a Karen. There are people called Karen who are perfectly nice in the world, but this particular Karen, disgusting. Anyway, I'm not going to stand down on my little. You wanted me to choose someone I disliked in the world. I chose somebody random. Karen. Karen needs it shoving up her Karen. That's what I say. She's awful. No. She worked for Philip Green, yes. Karen was involved with Philip Green, Alan Sugar, and in the House of Lords. Yeah. Karen's got class, hasn't she? She's got form. She's a bit of an old bat, says PCE. Thank you. You're completely right. Philip Green is a disgrace, says Samora. Yep, you're right. You get it right. Karen is something horrible. Did she have something to do with football? Yes, she was in football. She was a football woman for a while. Yep. Philip Green is horrible, says Matt Grant. Well, I say Karen is horrible. Karen is the Karen horrible.
Sleep in the same bed.
Christine says, I'm glad my name isn't Karen. Yes, well, there we go. Great West Ham song about Brady involving a D1 dildo. Oh dear. Yep, I don't know what the song about the dildo is, but yep, of course it would involve her because she used to be involved with the sex floggers, as my father said. If you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas, and that's what she is. She's a disgusting, horrible specimen. She's vile and she's disgraceful. We don't like Karen. Karen Brady is revolting. Come on, Karen. Let's be having you. Wake up, Karen. Do you stick it up, Karen? No, I don't live in Broadstairs, so sadly, Sue. But can we stick it up, Karen? Have I met Paulie Yates? That's another question. No, I've never met Paulie Yates. Have I met Norman Tebbit? No, I didn't meet Norman Tebbit. Let's call Karen. I don't know how to call Karen, but if you wish to call Karen, you're very welcome to. Christine, I never liked a Karen I've ever met. Matt Karen wants Karen on speed dial. Okay, so Karen, do you want? Oh God, we all want Karen the dildo. Right, a ban on Karens. Oh gosh, Karen, get a boat. Oh dear. So Karen is really not being very popular tonight, is she? Well, I'm very glad that Karen isn't popular because Karen is a creep. She's a complete cretin and she was a nuisance. And she did terrible things to my former friend, James Stunt, in Belgravia. She wrote horrible articles in the Sun and made money because she was allowed at that time to write an article a week. And she made an article about him saying how she didn't want to live in Belgravia next to him. Well, who'd want to live next to her? She's a dildo flogger. She's a dirty old trout. Shame on her. Shame on the bitch. She's a disgusting, filthy piece of toe rag. He is being completely exonerated of what he was accused of, and she should shut her mouth. Shame on Karen Brady. Nobody I know likes Karen Brady. She's just a nasty, nasty little dildo flogger, as my father called her. She said, my dad calls her the associate of the dildo floggers. And he's right. Daddy is right. He's got it bang on the nail. No way should anyone support this horrible, horrible, vile woman who picks on other people. You know, why doesn't she shut her mouth? She's got nothing nice to say. Shut her mouth. She's a horrible person. Shame on her. Shame on you, Karen Brady. Awful woman. My dad is very wise. Yes. My father is the best in the West. And yes, well said him. She lives with a brain aneurysm, precisely. She's a ponce, precisely. I hear she pooed in the garden at the Ritz. I don't know if that's true. Who is worse, Brady or Mone? Out of the two of them, well, I think Mone is the biggest scrounger, but Brady is the biggest grabber. Do I agree with J.K. Rowling? Yes, I love J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is a lovely lady and she speaks sense. We all support J.K. Rowling. There we go. Right. So we need to have Karen deported. Yes, I agree. Let's have Karen. I don't know where we could send her to, but nobody wants her. There we go. You love J.K. Rowling? Yes, thank you. That's good. Mone could have given Karen some fresh undies. Okay, well, it would be funny if Karen had got some fresh knickers from the other one. Send her to Canada, send her to Greece. I don't know why those poor countries deserve this awful woman. No, we don't want, nobody wants Karen. Karen with 2 R's needs a kick up the arse. We don't like Karen. She's not, do you like, where should we send her? They're offering the audience, lady men, to send her to.
J.K. Rowland's is the best thing
No,
ever happened.
no. Where can we send Karen? They want to deport Karen. Where to? Where can we send Karen?
Robin Island.
She says Robin Island. So that's her view. She wants.
That's a beautiful place.
I don't know where else we could send old Karen, but she wants to send us to Robin Island. I think that's a bit mean to Robin Island, in my view. We've got Miss Marple says Elba. Is there anywhere
Says what?
where I'd say Siberia. I think Siberia is the only place suitable for Karen.
That could be better.
Siberia could be good. Zamora's got a good idea. Bibby Island. Yeah, we've got the Bibby Stockholm on the boat. Let's put her on the Bibby Stockholm. Right. We need to think, where are we going to send Michelle Mone and Karen? Because Michelle Mone has to go also. So we'll send the pair of them. Butlins at Skegness is a suggestion by Miss Mob. Right. We need North Sentinel Island. We can't send them to Alcatraz. No, that's not going to work. Alcatraz is a tourist destination. It'd be a bit nice for them there. But the Bibby Stockholm is a good idea, I think. Don't you?
What?
The Bibby Stockholm, the boat.
Oh, I don't know anything about that place.
Ukraine. They're looking for fighters there, says Sandra.
The Ukraine looks actually very pleasant.
Right. Anyway, no, we want to get rid of the dreadful Michelle Mone and the dreadful Karen Brady. Karen Brady is one of the most revolting people on the planet. Let me tell you a little bit more about Karen Brady's business associations. I'm now going to tell you a story, and this is something I probably shouldn't do because there's all sorts of legal restrictions. But anyway, Karen Brady is associated with a man who is involved with a woman called Ampika Pixton. Mrs. Pixton has a boyfriend. Mrs. Pixton's boyfriend, who I'm not going to name the husband of, is a man accused of all sorts of sexual antics. But you can look him up. I'm not going to name him. But Mr. Pixton, well, Mrs. Pixton, her boyfriend, is a very dodgy man. And they have care homes, and they have what are called slap orders against anyone talking about it. So have a look at that. So there you go. There's my information for a Friday evening. I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to get myself taken to court. But I will say, have a look at what Mrs. Pixton has been doing with her care homes in Cheshire with the owner of a football club in London. There you go. So I've given you a bit of juice. Tell me what you have to say about that. I am not somebody who lies to you, but I can't come out with the truth because I don't think it's wise that I say anymore because of what's called a slap order. SLAPP, a slap. So I have given you fair information, but I've shared the truth. I'm not a liar. I'm not a deceiver. I tell the truth. Yeah. There we go. You don't like Karen Brady. Well, I totally agree with you. Karen Brady is a complete see you next Tuesday. If you want to use that reference, yep. Thank you for using that reference. Yep. Thank you. She is a see you next Tuesday. I don't like Karen Brady. Karen Brady is one of the most unpleasant people I've ever met in my entire life. I don't like Karen Brady. And I don't like Alan Sugar, but he's just a bore. He's just a self-promoting twerp. He's a rich bastard who, he's successful, he's clever, he's good at what he does. I don't deny the man is a great success.
Why are you English consumed with rubbish? Why?
But honestly, I don't like Karen Brady. She's a vile.
Why are you consumed with rubbish? Why does it enter your brain?
This woman's shouting in the background yet again.
Can't you get just
Anyway, it doesn't matter what she
love beautiful things?
She doesn't listen as usual.
I don't want to listen to any of this stuff.
It's not relevant what she wants to listen to. Anyway, Karen Brady is.
I like to listen to beautiful things, not drama and thieves and rogues and.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter what she's ranting and raving about.
I still want to. I just.
Anyway,
I don't understand why people want to listen to this rubbish. Why are you consumed with this? I happen to love you and I think you're a special person. But why you are consumed with this trash? I don't know.
Anyway, never mind. Anyway, we're on to our next question.
I don't know why you are. You are talented.
No, I don't need.
You're good looking. You're beautiful.
Oh, shut up.
Consumed with this trash. Why are you?
Anyway, I don't need to hear any more from this screaming in the background. It's absolutely boring. Not for me. She's entitled to her opinion, but I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to agree with it.
Oh.
So there we go. Anyway, she's entitled to her view and I'm entitled to mine. Right, yes, it's time for her to go to bed. Yes, good idea. I think that's probably a very good idea. How did Karen Brady get into the House of Lords? Karen Brady was put in the House of Lords by, guess who? David bloody Cameron. David Cameron is responsible for some of the worst people who have been put into the House of Lords in recent years. The Bamfords.
He's better looking than most of them.
The Brady and the Mone. Lady Mone.
Well, he's stylish, good looking.
Shame on him for putting the worst people into the House of Lords possible. Shame on David Cameron. David Cameron is a disgrace. He's disgusting and he's filth. I hate him. I really, really dislike David Cameron. And I've told him that to his face. So I went up to him and I said, "You are a disgrace." I said, "You bring shame on Britain."
Well, look what we got now.
What an appalling man David Cameron is. So no, I'm not. I don't need the woman shouting in the background. She doesn't have any impact on what I have to say. I cannot stand David Cameron. He's an absolute piece of toe rag. He's a disgusting
He's better
piece of
looking
rubbish.
than you are.
He's not good looking and he's awful.
He's not bad looking and he speaks the Queen's English.
He's a piece of rubbish. He's a liar, he's a scumbag, and he's a creep. So shame on you, David Cameron. I don't like you.
Oh, well.
The Panama Papers, yeah, precisely. He's a crook. Panama Papers. My poor sister was involved in the Panama Papers as well. So I understand everything about the Panama Papers. Everything to do with David Cameron was corruption. It was money, 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 money.
Oh, well, he
Sex
married
agrees.
money, didn't he?
He's a great. David Cameron is gross. Yes, well said, PCE. Well said. He's
He
a
married
Poms.
money.
He is corrupt to the core, says Pomdor. Yes, well done. He was corrupt to the core. He is a chubby and he's got moobs. Yep. Okay. Old David. Oh, yeah. He was trying to be Tony Blair, but he wasn't Tony Blair. Yep. Agree with you, Katrina. He was a nonce. So he's Des dog. Yes, I don't know what that. That's not a bit. That's a bit nasty. Don't believe that. He covered up a sex abuse case for his friend.
Sex abuse.
He covered it up. Wow. Did Lady Min supports David Cameron. That's disgusting. Wow. Tony Blair is disgusting, says Josie. Well, Matt Grant fancied the ex-Finnish Prime Minister. She's stunning. Christine fancied like Tony Blair. Okay. Josie says he ruined Dream's song, D-R-E-'s song. Sebastian says he's a monster. I agree with you, Sebastian. He is. He's an alleged frequent visitor to Elm Guest House. Well, the Elm Guest House visitors were all evil people. I totally agree with you about that. I'm not going to say who went there. Right. Is Min a dominatrix? Well, she I don't think she is, no. But right. Things can only get better, says Palmzor. There we go. Anyway, we've all got different views, but what I will say is I cannot stand these awful people. Awful. Let's not even get started on the King Cora. Yes, well, that's where much of the abuse went on.
Who?
The King Cora, the abuse at King Cora. I agree with you. You are completely right. Nobody liked David Cameron ever. Quite right, says Bess. I agree with you. David Cameron is a piece of junk. David Cameron should be thrown in the funny farm. He's a piece of shite. He's disgusting. He makes me feel sick in the head. Don't like him. Awful man. Horrible, 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 sick in the head, evil man. Ugh, he makes me want to vomit. I feel like I want to hurl. I want to literally vomit. Don't like him. Disgusting. Right, there we go.
Oh.
He makes me feel sick. So, next one. Right. Okay. Anyway, it's time to go to bed soon. Where is Philip Schofield? Well, let's throw him down the well. He's awful. Can't stand Philip Schofield. He's another sicko. Evil bastard. Sick. Right.
How dare you?
Oh, I'm being told, how dare I, for criticizing Philip Schofield. He should be behind bars. Yes, I agree with you, Matt Grant. Put him, lock him up. Right. Anyway, it's time for me to go to sleep. I've had enough. Enough for one day. So that's where we're up to. Right. Okay. It's time to say good night and thank you to you all. I thank you for your kind participation. Please get some rest. Have a lovely evening and good night and good gardening to you all. Take care. Sleep tight. Have a wonderful night. And we've been going for 4 hours, so it's been a very, very long show. This is exhausting for me to do. 4 hours is rather a lot. So Anyway, thank you very, very much for your lovely participation. You've been delightful, but I think it's time to say
Thank God my poppy's
good
free.
night, good night, good night, and sweet dreams. Sleep well. May the bed bugs not bite, and go to bed and sleep.
God, I've got them in my bed.
Good night. Okay, take care. Bye bye.